What if that was the opening audio? It'd be funny. All right. We're reviewing Kirby drawings at the moment. Sorry to disappoint.
I gotta test. I got it in my headphones so I can.
I mean, we can just check it right now.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I got it in my headphones.
Oh, dang. Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
We sound good.
We sound amazing. Or so I hear.
Yeah. No,
all right, cool.
The audio level's good.
We're already peaking a little bit, so we got to keep it at a very consistent volume, I think. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like this is okay. I was trying to figure out how to turn the sound down, but I don't know.
Slide that bar.
Just is it the audio input capture?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Well, if that's which are we?
Yeah,
we're doing both at the same time, the mic or the audio input.
Let's mute this. Can I mute this?
Say mute that.
Let's mute it. How does it sound now, Micah?
That's a good question.
Me know.
Haley just commented Kirby drawings.
Kirby drawings. Yeah, we see you in the chat. We can see you in the chat, but not in a weird way.
We got a delay. We got a big delay, so I gotta catch up.
Oh yes,
to be able to.
Quite right. How big of a delay, Micah?
We just got to the how does it sound now.
Does it sound good?
Yeah.
About the same?
We sound good.
Okay.
We're good.
Hello, people.
Hi.
I guess we'll officially start the stream. Hello. Here we are.
Gotta shuffle my way over this.
For those who had previously tuned into one of our end of the year live streams.
Okay, sound like I'm going crazy. I gotta turn this off.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't listen to the stream with that big of a delay. Like for those who have tuned into our past live streams, you already know what we look like. But now
we look different this year, though.
I was about to say we kind of radically have changed our looks since last year. So here we are now. Entertain us.
For those of you who don't know how these live streams go, we do these typically either like on like the end of like the very end of the year or at the very beginning of the next year.
We had been doing them on like New Year's Eve previously, but we were a little busy this year.
Yeah, we had family, we had sickness, we had a lot going on.
We managed to sneak in a few more movies before we did this.
We were crunching on 2022 movies because we're going to talk about every single 2022 movie that we have collectively watched. Not collectively, like all the ones he watched all the ones I watched.
That both of us watched. Well, not that both of us. All of the movies that we watched this year.
Yes.
that are released
last
this year.
Oh, it's 2023 now.
Wow.
So it's gonna be a long one.
It is gonna be kind of long, but hopefully you will enjoy it nonetheless.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. We're going to talk about movies.
We're in 2023.
We're in 2023.
What does 2023 look like?
That's
like next episode. Never mind.
Oh yeah, I was about to say save that for another time, Micah. We don't have time now.
Supposedly we have talked about like behind the scenes for the podcast. We have talked about like making changes this next season.
Yes.
But maybe I don't know what's gonna happen.
I recently edited an audiobook and I got a lot better at tweaking sound, so it'll probably sound a bit better this next season at the very least, which is good.
That'll be good. Audio for all you young podcasters out there.
Podcasters.
You know, us being experienced, successful podcasters. Audio is very important.
That's like the whole thing. Unless you're doing a live video episode like this.
Audio is still important.
It is still important.
And audio things. Audio tends to be one of the most important elements.
Watch the stream just sound like garbage. That would be so crushing to me.
No, I just listened to it. It sounds really good.
All right. Well, let me make sure I've cleared up as much RAM as we can get, and then we'll get started. All right. We're good to go. All right.
Trying not to actually cough my lungs out on the podcast.
So I suppose should we do like an official intro for the
Yeah, we need to do like a welcome to recently logged. Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
I'm
pretty confident it's mine.
Wait, did I come up with something for Pinocchio?
Pinocchio.
Because that was our last episode.
Good Italian pine.
Yeah, it was me.
All right. Yeah, I thought so.
So yeah, your turn to do the intro. What are you doing? By the way, this is a little behind the scenes thing too, because this is what we do every time when we sit down to record the podcast. We sit down, we're like, who did the last intro?
Who did the last intro?
We check.
I don't know, man.
Then we're like, okay, what do you want to do for the intro? And sometimes when it's Robbie, no offense to Robbie, he takes a lot longer to come up with intros.
I have no shame in the fact that it takes me a long time to come up with something.
So I'll be like,
because it's always something of quality.
It'll be early, and we'll be like, what do you want to do for the intro? And I'll just be like,
I don't know, man.
And then I'll be doing other things, getting like the facts ready and everything. And then I'll be like, okay, so do you have an intro? And he's like, I'm thinking.
Don't interrupt my train of thought, Micah. But
usually
it's just like mind static.
This is easy though, Robbie. You can just do like a welcome to Recently Logged, where this week we're doing a Wrapped. It's the new year,
all right.
Something like that.
I can do that. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Recently Logged, where this week we're talking all things 2022. I like that. I think that's good.
Yeah, all things 2022. Okay.
Well, not all things.
We're talking news. We're talking games. We're
doing our first political episode. Finally, you get to hear our stark and thrilling political commentary.
Let's not.
Also, if you are watching on a podcasting platform that supports video, you can see us right now. Hopefully. I don't think I've ever actually watched a video podcast. I've uploaded a few, but I've never actually seen one. So I don't know how they work.
I mean, I've watched them on YouTube.
Anchor's video podcasts look pretty good. So who knows? Maybe for our listeners on Spotify, you'll be able to see us. Who knows?
Does Spotify do video?
Yeah, they do video now. But we're getting off track.
All right, let's get started.
We're doing this as a live episode, and we're going to talk about all of the movies from 2022. That we watched in 2022. If that makes sense.
So yeah, we're gonna kick it off because we got a lot of movies to talk about, a lot of ground. At least at least 70 movies.
It's at least 70 for me. So let's see how it goes.
All right, no short films. Are we cut out those short films?
Oh yeah, I can.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I just thought if there was something interesting.
You're tearing me apart here.
If there was something interesting to talk about.
Get those short films out of here.
All right. All right, so we're kicking it off.
Yeah, we're kicking it off. Earliest movie that you watched.
That we watched, that both of us watched.
Well, what was that?
What is that? It's a Doctor Who special.
Talk about it, Robbie. It was 2022. Give the briefest thoughts in the world. You didn't even rate it.
Yeah, I didn't rate this because it's not like a feature film or anything.
Eve of the Daleks.
It's Doctor Who, Eve of the Daleks. It's part of the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who run. I watched it on Discord with good friend of the podcast, Luke.
Wow.
It was weird. It was fine. Whatever. Who cares? It's new Doctor. It's the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. It's not like awful, but it's not really all that fun either. So
yeah.
But yeah, I didn't rate it.
So far in all of my experience with Doctor Who, not a ton of experience, but we have watched a couple of the Doctors all the way through. Yeah. In my experience with Doctor Who, the older the better. Which is a hot take.
That is a bit of a hot take. Are you saying that
David Tennant's still probably my favorite Doctor?
I was about to say, are you saying
to that is the first Doctor?
The frail old man Doctor.
The frail old man and the bad special effects in black and white.
I really love the first Doctor. He's really so much fun. He's so sweet.
But yes, Robbie didn't even rate it. Kicking off our actual year. The first movie, the earliest release that we watched.
2022 release.
Of 2022 was Deadware. Directed by Isaac Rodriguez.
Okay, quick sidebar about Isaac Rodriguez. He has become one of my favorite independent directors, and he makes just really low budget horror movies.
Yeah, very so impressively low budget horror movies. This thing is acted terribly, but they had no budget.
Hold on. I wouldn't say terribly. I think Deadware is not his best. It's not his best. I watched 5 of his films this year. This was the first one I saw of his. I think The Stream is his best one, but I think that was this year. It might have been last year. But Deadware, it features not as good of performances, but I think they are just as entertaining as The Stream is.
No, this is it seemed like it would be terrible looking at it.
It really
even
does.
has a bad average. Well, I mean, it's not a bad average on Letterboxd, but if you look at
it's not a good average.
The little swing of ratings, it's not good. but like there's some charm about this.
It's got a real charm to it. It's like, undeniable,
it's
really.
It's got that like 90s computer game aesthetic with the game that they play, and it's just there's something about it that's like watching like watching a YouTube video, like an old YouTube video. That's what it's like.
It's just captivating. I don't know why.
And it's fun. It's a little spooky.
Haley just said, Micah, this was acted terribly. Robbie, the audacity of this man.
It's not very good acting, I have to say. But you know, like it's still entertaining acting, so maybe it is good. What do I know?
I would argue that it's good for what it is. Like,
but no,
honestly.
like I rated it. I gave it a 3.5.
I think it's a genuinely great.
I gave it
film.
a 3.5.
Honestly, if it stuck its landing, like if it had a bit more of a solid like end, I honestly think it would be like a certified great horror movie. You know,
Robbie, honestly, it's like. It's campy enough.
It's campy
It's interesting enough. It's got a unique aesthetic. It's doing something fun. It just doesn't fully like the plot. Isn't quite there.
Yeah, no, the plot stuff doesn't come together quite like I want it to. But of Isaac Rodriguez's films and of independent horror, this is probably one of the best ones I've seen this year.
This thing was made with probably like a budget of like $12 and a dream. So
I'll respect to Isaac Rodriguez. If you want to collaborate on a film with me, I will be in your film.
I genuinely really enjoyed it.
I loved it. I thought it was
its
great.
Budget was estimated to be $10,000,
hey,
which is small.
That's low, man.
It's not like, obviously they probably raised money for it.
Oh,
but like it's small.
But yeah, definitely a recommendation for me. I loved Deadware. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
Very nice. Nice. Oh, I had another Isaac Rodriguez.
Well,
film.
I was just looking to see because I needed to see the timeline here.
Yes,
Robbie. Because
right.
we both have 2 films up to that.
For those who can't see, we're just looking at our letterbox. All right.
So do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, good.
We'll just go back and forth here. So up next of the early films of 2022, I watched the hit movie The 355 by Simon Kinberg.
Haley just said $12 in a dream.
And I like this thing is not good.
The 355.
Not only that, but it's like one of those movies that's like no. How to put this? It's one of those movies that's like specifically supposed to be like an empowering like women movie, which obviously is a great thing.
There's actually some really good like empowering women movies this year.
This is the weirdest story to do that with.
Isn't it like a political thriller?
Yes, it's a political thriller. Half of these women aren't even good people.
Oh.
Like it's weird.
Ouch.
None of the characters are very likable. They're all murderers.
Oh,
they're
dang.
all like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here. I know a lot of people would like say the same thing about like if it was guys it would be different, but I just think it's weird because it was not a good movie.
A bad movie. Even.
You could make it about guys or girls and it would not be good.
Yes.
It's not well directed. It's not well written. It's very boring. The women I really like the actresses. They give good performances.
I was about to say Jessica Chastain. She's good.
Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz. I like the actresses in this a lot, and they give good performances. But the script and the writing of their characters made me actively dislike all of the characters. So, yeah, it's very forgettable. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Apparently not actively bad though.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Well, I guess a little actively bad. All right. I'll talk about this. I didn't watch it like directly afterwards, but I did watch another Isaac Rodriguez film.
We're doing in release order
in release
of the
order.
year,
Yeah,
not in timeline order.
It's called The Last Radio Call. It is a found footage film, as a lot of his movies are, just because the lo-fi aesthetic is a lot cheaper to produce.
Yeah, low budget horror found footage is the way to go.
It opens with like an absolute, I honestly actually think a really phenomenal like body cam horror sequence, and actually ends with a really great body cam horror sequence, but all of the stuff in the middle is kind of bad. So I have fun. I definitely have fun while I'm watching it, but like the middle stuff, the plot isn't nearly like interesting enough to hold your attention, and the cinematic stuff isn't nearly interesting enough to hold my attention. So I end up getting really bored for about 40 minutes in the middle.
It doesn't have the gimmick of deadware.
But no, it doesn't. But I really loved the finale of this. So if that sounds interesting, go watch the last radio.
I was about to say the the video game part of Deadware carries a lot of like the plot of Deadware.
It's so funny. I love the video game from Deadware. But yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Not bad, but not nearly as good as Deadware, unfortunately.
Next, I watched The King's Daughter,
which is like a 2011
2014 movie. It is a 2014 movie that was stuck in production hell for how many years is that? That's like 8 years.
That's 8
years. This thing did not come out.
That's
and
crazy.
It would kind of be at home in 2014, but even then it wouldn't be a good 2014 movie.
Like even if it was on time.
I think I put this as the worst movie of 2022. I think probably.
Wow. Okay. Yikes.
I could not stand this thing. Like literally, I gave it a 1.5. The performances are really bad. The writing is really, really 2014 writing.
Oof.
Like
not good. 2014.
Yeah,
there's Lego Movie 2014.
No, this is like.
Wasn't Fury Road 2014?
This is. I don't remember. Yeah. This is like. Like I can't think, like fantasy rom-com Walmart mom book writing.
Not Walmart mom book.
From 2014. This thing is like, yeah, it's like a fanfic kind of writing.
There's good fanfic out there, but
the performances are bad. It feels like I don't know. It's just bad. It's really bad.
It's just bad.
None of it's budget, like the shot, the quality of the effects are bad. The quality of the writing is bad. The performances are bad.
I think I watched 2 scenes from it, and I went back downstairs because I was like, I'm not watching anymore.
It's bad. It was, man. I feel bad for it. Because it was stuck.
Imagine making a movie and then just like stuck. You can't. It's not released yet.
Like I may call a movie bad, but I still like that. Still sucks. That sucks for anyone because making a movie isn't an easy thing.
Nope.
And putting in that much work and then it getting stuck in production for 8 years.
That's crazy.
Post-production,
man.
To come out to an audience that just isn't there for it.
Right? No one was asking for this in 2022. But yeah. Interesting film.
Give it a 1.5.
All right. And then we watched a little ditty known as The House. It is a Netflix animated film, stop motion too.
Stop motion, yes.
Not the only Netflix stop motion film from this year.
It's like there's like 3 of them.
But yeah, it's The House. It is a anthology horror film.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast.
Did we do an episode on it?
Yeah, I think so.
Did we?
I thought so.
I don't think we did.
We've talked about it on the podcast.
I know we talked about it for quite a while because it was like one of the first films we watched this year, but I don't think we actually did an episode.
Maybe we just did like a thingamabob.
That's season 3, dude.
Who knows where the seasons stop and end?
They're labeled.
Anyway,
I don't think we did.
I feel like we talked about it a lot, but
we did.
But it's very interesting.
It's a great film, I think.
Like the problem with most anthology films, they kind of come out swinging.
They do,
and then it kind of triples. I don't know why everyone puts like their weakest of the anthology at the end.
No, okay. I think thematically, the one that they end on makes a little bit more sense than any of the other ones. It would have been really weird to end on the bug one. It would have been really weird to end on the house one. I think it's a good decision to end on the cat one, but like, I don't know.
I agree with some of the criticisms I've heard about this though, especially with the fact that like it doesn't really center around the house as much as you would think.
Right. I mean, it's all about like
they're all at
home
the house
stuff. In a way, but the real estate thing, like that's a completely different thing thematically. Yeah. Like I don't know.
It hops around a little bit, but it connects. Each individual segment still has its very pretty darn good merits in each. Yeah. I enjoy each segment.
Yeah.
My favorite segment's still probably the real estate one.
Oh, easily.
It's so much fun.
There's a musical bug dance number,
and I think it's the only one that actually really taps into anything kind of almost vaguely sinister feeling, which I wanted them.
Scary,
which Micah. I wanted them to do more
scary.
of. I don't know why. There's something scary about the real real estate mouse.
It's so, I don't know. There's something about the like bug stuff. It's so unnerving.
Like I said, I think it taps into to kind of what they were going for the whole time, of it just being like sinister. The house is supposed to be sinister. You get a little bit of that in the first one.
The first segment, like with the parents and everything, like where they, spoilers, turn into furniture at the end, like it's cool, like I really like that, but it doesn't really feel all that sinister. It feels more whimsical almost, but like in a scary way.
Yeah, it's weird too, because you have like that guy introduced in the beginning, and you think that like, oh, that's gonna be like the guy who appears in all the different shorts causing problems with the house, but then he never comes back. He doesn't come back. Yeah, so it's a little discombobulated, and then you have two things that are kind of sinister towards the house, and then the last one where the house is like a communal thing, but yet they're holding on to it, so she has to like let go.
It's very strange.
Very different framing of the house itself.
Yeah, I was about to say, the last one isn't even really all that horror. It's really just kind of a drama.
Yeah.
That's like a fantasy drama.
Like a drama about like letting go, I guess.
But it's cool. It's a good short, but like it doesn't really mesh that well with the other two.
Yeah, so it's not perfect by any means, but it really is creative, and I would definitely suggest it.
If you don't want to watch all hour and a half of it, just turn on the bug segment and like the real estate one. I think it's the second one. Go watch that. Good. It's definitely worth it.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I also gave it a 4 out of 5.
Well, look at us.
That's so crazy, Micah.
You have a lot until we catch up.
I do have a lot.
I guess it's just 2. Just because you changed the poster. I didn't recognize it.
I'm sorry. I watched another film called Fresh. Directed by Mimi Cave. It's a horror film.
You know them. You love them. Mimi Cave.
Mimi Cave, yeah. Stars Daisy Edgar-Jones, Sebastian Stan. Very good. They're both good. That's like one of the best part of the movies is their performances. I like the cinematography a lot of the time. It takes some really big stylistic swings, especially in the like last half hour or so, and I think they all hit. I like surprisingly. The plot's a little meandery. It takes a while to get going. And like it's kind of lame given its premise, but like it's pretty good. But yeah, Fresh. It's good, solid. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Bye, Haley. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh yeah, thank you for tuning in. And then after that, I watched I think it's just called Master. I was gonna say The Master. But that's a different movie.
Sounds cool though. PTA.
Sounds cool.
Amy Adams.
Sounds like a cool guy.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
But yeah, I watched a film called Master.
Is it Joaquin Phoenix in The Master?
Yes. Directed by Mariama Diallo. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. But it's called Master. It was good. It's a horror film. A lot of just like solid independent-ish horror movies, like a little fringe horror movies this year. And Master was definitely one of them. It kind of centers around like this college racism curse, and it's quite good.
The college racism curse.
Finally, college racism curse.
Clearly.
But it's like I don't know. It's like Salem witch trial stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool movie.
Yeah, a college racism curse.
But yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was good.
Gave it a 4 out of 5.
Lots of 4s.
Speaking of little horror,
little
treats,
fringe horror films,
little horror treats to eat.
Oh no!
Up next we have Hatching.
baby.
Directed by Hannah Bergholm.
Bergholm. That's my.
Isn't she
guess.
Swedish?
I believe
Swedish
Dutch.
Film?
I think it's
Dutch.
I believe it's Dutch.
Well, the country
Finnish.
She's Finnish. Cool. Very cool. So Finnish horror.
Finnish horror. Finally, Finnish horror. I think this might be my first Finnish film.
This was suggested to me specifically through Robbie. He watched it, and then he was like, "Oh, it's good. You should watch it." I thought
you would enjoy it for its Del Toro-isms, Micah.
I don't think it has very many Del Toro.
It doesn't.
It just has a cool puppet.
It has a really cool like monster puppet thing, and that's really the main reason to watch it, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that is the highlight. Like all of the stuff around the titular creature, the egg. Very, very cool. There's some cool gore.
There's some really cool imagery, man.
All that's cool. Alternatively, the plot isn't my favorite thing in the world.
I'm really conflicted about the plot because
it's good in theory.
It's good. It's good on paper, but
like some of the things don't feel very well developed between the mom and the girl, and like the way it develops through their relationship and this kind of clone of her doing these things. It feels very weird. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it thematically knows what it's trying to say about hatching.
I mean, it says a lot of things about identity and the age of social media, because it's a family of influencers, which is very interesting.
The mom is an influencer.
to have the girl, like, I don't know, there's a lot there, which I like on paper, but it doesn't really mesh that well, especially in the end.
And it's not that you can't like pick the little things. It's the thing is that watching it as a whole experience,
it feels stilted.
It feels like it doesn't fully just like wrap around nicely. It feels like, oh yeah, I can see what they're going for with this. There's all those things, but again, it really does make up for it in the fact that it's got a cool as heck creature. Yeah. And fun gore sometimes.
It's definitely a soft recommendation, just so you can at least see the cool little like tooth bird. it's pretty cool. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. No,
Mike,
3.5. 3.5.
The tagline is "She's coming out of her shell." Again, that's hatching. Quite good. Hatching.
You got that?
Hatching. Okay, after that I watched a Apple TV Plus original. It premiered at a couple of festivals. Got a little
crazy bit of guys down at Apple TV.
Little festival talk, Micah. Cha Cha Real Smooth. Cooper Raife's newest movie, and it was good. Has Dakota Johnson in it, and she's quite good. It weirded me out because I don't think I've actually seen her all that much. No. But I feel like I'm very familiar with her. I don't know. But yeah, Cooper Raife, very talented writer and actor and director, as it turns out. Who'd have thought it?
There you go. He's the total package.
It was a lot of fun. I liked the representation in it. Very good. I liked it. It's got good character writing. It's got a good ensemble.
I know nothing about it. I don't even know what representation you're talking about.
One of the main characters is autistic.
Ooh, cool.
And it's actually not terrible.
Hey.
Yay. Yay.
That's happened like twice.
This is the second time this has ever happened in the history of film. At least in my eyes. I thought it was good. But, yeah, it was really sweet. It's kind of, I don't know. It was, I don't know how to describe it. It was good. Okay. Get off my back. Cha Cha Real Smooth, definite recommendation. I thought it was great. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh yeah, well you wanna talk great?
You wanna talk
up
great
next,
cinema?
Up next we have the Requin. The Requin directed. Oh, whoa!
Micah was so ready to launch into it.
Ready.
I guess he's French.
Levonquit.
That's my guess. It's probably wrong. I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
shark movie.
Shark movie
with
Alicia Silverstone.
Very extremely miscast in this movie.
I
just cast someone else and it automatically like raises the star.
I like Alicia Silverstone.
I love
this
Alicia
movie
Silverstone.
Really makes me question if I like Alicia Silverstone.
Right? I'm like, do I really? Okay.
It makes me question if she could even act.
Right. It's just
really
such a
bad.
It's a bad fit for her. It's a poorly directed film.
It's got a terrible average. It's got like a 1.1 average. This isn't news that it's bad.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be that bad.
We were watching, for a little bit of context here too, my mom's been doing this thing where she takes these challenges that she gives herself to watch a type of movie once a day each month. And for this, because Shark Week was that, she wanted to watch a shark movie a day for the entire month.
Who'd have thunk it?
So we scoured cinema for shark movies, and most of them are bad.
Well, we found one that was released in 2022.
What I was going for here was that we watched a lot of shark movies. I watched more shark movies than I had ever watched in my life that month. And this was my least favorite.
Dang.
This was so boring.
That's a lot, man.
It was boring on top of everything else. The story is just nothing. Like, think about the story.
It's like I think it's like trying to be about marriage, kind of, and it just doesn't work.
It's bad.
It's not good.
I gave it a 1.5.
I gave it a 1 out of 5. It was not good, unfortunately.
And speaking of not good,
up
next
I
have the...
Oh, okay.
I feel like this was, the Netflix original Kevin James returning to the screen.
I do like Kevin James in the right context. He can be good.
Home Team. Home Team. Yeah.
The Home
Everyone
Team.
remembers that one. Directed by Charles and Daniel Kinane.
Yes. A brother duo.
Brothers
Micah.
of cinema.
They are brothers in cinema.
It was not good. It's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. It really falls into that category of just very forgettable, very not really doing anything, not doing anything bad. It's not doing anything bad. I'm not like, wow, that's a bad movie.
Wow, bad movie, man.
But it's not doing anything good.
Should have stayed in drafts.
And it has a very uninteresting story that's very much been done before. So it's literally just nothing. I feel nothing towards this movie.
I feel nothing.
But it's not very good.
Oh.
So I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Pour one out for Home Team.
Never thought about it again.
All right. And then after that, we went out to the theater. I think this might have been our first theater trip of 2022.
Timeline accurate, Robbie. We're not going in timeline.
I know.
You can't describe things in
sorry.
timeline.
I want to go linear, Mike.
I don't think this was the first theater trip. I think
it was one of our
else.
first.
It was early on. This is an early on movie in 2022.
But we went and saw the new Roland Emmerich movie, Moonfall.
You know how much I love Roland Emmerich.
Okay, he actually, I think, was onto something here. What was he cooking, Micah, with
Nothing
Moonfall?
Good. He's not cooking anything, Robbie.
He was cooking perhaps one of the best original sci-fi properties of our time. I don't know. Something about Moonfall's like canonical sci-fi stuff is really intriguing to me. I don't know why. I really like it.
So this movie is split up into 2 halves. This movie, you have half one, where they figure out that the moon is falling. One guy figures out that the moon is falling. He's like, the moon is falling.
It's half disaster movie, half like elevated sci-fi.
They do like the whole like don't look up thing where they're there. The moon's not falling. What a silly concept. And then he's got to spend like
what a foolish notion.
40 minutes. He's got to convince everyone that the moon is falling.
The moon is falling.
And then they're like, the moon is falling.
Moon.
Oh no! And it goes everybody's screaming, everybody's running, disaster. Okay. Second half of the movie,
it's all disaster stuff.
Everybody's dying because if the moon moves,
the moon's falling.
Things happen to the good old Earth and its gravity.
You start
and its
playing
oceans.
Tom Petty, the moon's free fall.
Stuff happens. People are dying, flooding everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And he finds this group of crazy people and potheads.
That's
literally.
Not fair, Mike.
Well, half of them are crazy.
Okay.
Half of them smoke weed.
There's no crossover whatsoever.
No crossover. But that's what it's described as, right? That is what we are shown as the audience. He finds this group who believes that the moons are superstructures. This is introduced like 45 minutes, maybe even more into the movie, these superstructures. And he's like, I believe you. No evidence. I believe you. He doesn't really believe them. So they're like, the only way to stop the moon is we fly up to the moon.
And just check it out. And see what's going on.
See if we can. Well, actually, there's these like things on the moon that they have to detonate. I think
something like that. I don't know. I only saw it once. But it was a while ago.
They get to the moon, and it is a superstructure
with aliens, Micah.
They go inside
the aliens,
and they have like this memory stuff.
It's so cool. I don't know.
It's terrible.
It's so cool. I think
it's horribly played. And not only that, but we have this stuff, but then we also still have like, oh no, we're on the Earth. Look at these kids, like typical disaster movie stuff, chopping around in nothingness. They go to the moon.
I think
like,
it's
it
good,
is a
Micah.
superstructure.
I think it's
They
good.
go back to the Earth. Nothing makes. I hate it.
Well, anyway, I thought Moonfall had a pretty fun ensemble and a cool little sci-fi gimmick, and I thought it was fun. Best Roland Emmerich movie I've seen. 3 out of 5.
2.5.
All right. We're only half a point difference, Micah. Wildly different opinions.
All right, you got some
You
stuff.
were talking like it was the death of cinema.
It
Micah.
was okay. The only reason I feel this strongly about it is because after we watched Moonfall, when I said I didn't like it and I thought it was really stupid, I was berated by my family, being like, "What? How dare you?
It was fun.
It was Moonfall.
It was fun.
The superstructured moon."
Okay. Next up, I watched another 3 out of 5 movie, Marry Me, which, I thought it was going to be bad, but it was good.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson, Jennifer Lopez, directed by Kat Corrillo? I don't know. I hope that's right. But it's called Marry Me, and it's a fun rom-com, and it's fun. It's a cute screenplay. And it needed better rhythm and structure and pacing. But it was fun. I liked it. 3 out of 5.
I spent too much time on Moonfall.
I was about to say,
we gotta pick our battles here.
I know.
And that was not the one.
Marry Me. Good movie.
After that, we watched Death on the Nile in theaters.
Death on the Nile?
We drank enough champagne to fill the Nile.
I hope not. I certainly hope not.
Kenneth Branagh.
I have a interesting relationship with his films.
I was not a big fan of Murder on the Orient Express. His Murder on the Orient Express.
Revisited it. Pretty good. I liked it.
It's weird. It's just weird.
It's very strange.
I liked this one a little bit more, but it's also very weird.
Very strange.
He just makes weird movies. Like they're very.
They're almost great.
They're like flashy and like weirdly digital.
They are very strangely digital.
Weirdly paced and like weirdly dramatic. Like over dramatic, like Perot gets like a 20-minute intro on how his mustache was formed or something like that.
It's just one scene, Micah.
It's not one scene, Robbie. It literally takes place over multiple locations.
But I thought it was a little better than Murder on the Orient Express.
It's fun. I think it's goofy.
It is. It's a little goofy. I can appreciate that.
I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the cast that much.
Womp womp.
Gal Gadot and Armie Hammer are not what I needed in my life.
Yeah, Armie Hammer, even like, I don't know. Say what you will about Armie Hammer, but he's not even all that good in this movie, which is... This is kind of a cursed lineup given the events of this year.
I have that one scene with Gal Gadot and Armie Hammer permanently burned into my mind, and that's not a good thing. What was that?
That we officially switched to dark mode, Micah.
Oh, you're scaring me with your dark mode transitions.
Oh no!
I thought we just lost the stream.
No, we're still streaming.
But yeah, I have that permanently seared into my mind. Not fun, but overall, it is more fun than his last one.
I think it's more electric than Murder on the Orient Express, but it's also sloppier, kind of weird. I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
3.5. 3.5. Up next, we watched Kimmy,
the new Soderbergh film.
Steven Soderbergh's
Sody,
Kimmy,
my boy.
Interesting
my
movie.
man.
Zoe Kravitz.
Kravitz.
I don't know. You thought you looked this up.
Kravitz. I don't know. Okay. I wish I knew. I don't remember.
Anyway, yes. Kimmy.
It's one of my favorite films of the year. Easily, I think. Probably one of the best films of the year, if we're gonna be honest here.
It's not.
Perhaps my favorite Soderbergh film too. Maybe. I don't know. It'd be Logan Lucky or like Ocean's 11 or this, one of those 3.
2 movies that are better than this movie,
no,
and then
not better, Micah.
Yes, better. Robbie, Kimmy. I will defend Kimmy. Like people hate on Kimmy. I will not stand
the Kimmy hate. Unprecedented.
It is a good movie. It is impressive for what it does. It's great. It's got great direction, cinematography, and Zoe's performance is fantastic. She really carries this movie.
Yes.
But outside of that, it's very simple. It's a little slow. It doesn't really feel that satisfying in the end. And then it just ends. It's not that great. It is a very simple, nice movie, but it is not the greatest thing in the world.
Best use of the COVID-19 pandemic for a movie, I will say.
Robbie, what about Glass Onion?
Okay, well maybe, but it's hardly focused on. This is like a main plot point here.
In spirit, it's a main plot point in Glass Onion.
Okay. It's true. It's true.
But no, I really enjoyed
I think it's
Kimmy.
great. I
I
think
give
it's
it a
fantastic.
4 out of 5. It is not that great, but it is good.
I think it's phenomenal. I really loved the screenplay. I loved the editing. I loved the cinematography. I loved the direction. I don't know. I loved everything about it. It's so good. Kimmy, close to my heart always.
Okay.
Wow.
What'd you rate it, Robbie?
I gave it a 5 out of 5 if you couldn't get it.
Wow. Up next, another one we caught in theaters. We were catching the weirdest ones in theaters.
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
I'm a huge Uncharted fan.
I do like the games.
Not the movie. The games.
The games. Uncharted 4.
That's why I was
that's
so excited about. Uncharted 4 is one of my favorite games. It's a game series I've played through several times.
Yeah.
They're a little goofy, but it's fun. And I really enjoy the storytelling and the character of Nathan Drake. Elena, all that stuff. It's very fun.
Yes.
The movie, I was excited for the movie, and the movie was interesting. It was a little weird.
Yeah, it's something.
The casting from the word go had me kind of turned off to it.
Yeah.
It's just bad casting.
I think this is honestly one of the most boring ways you could adapt Uncharted into a movie.
Yeah, because it's not a bad movie
It's
by
not
any
bad,
means.
no.
It's just the most straightforward blank
It's
adventure
just so
movie.
generic in the field of
movie.
modern adventure movies,
And
man.
then-
Lost City has more personality than
Exactly,
this.
and it doesn't even use any of its Uncharted roots to make anything interesting. Like they're
Right.
just occasional references. Like literally, this does not matter that it's an Uncharted movie.
Yeah, you could remove the
and-
Uncharted
and
IP
obviously-
and nothing would change.
Obviously, I don't want them to just grab from the game. I don't want it to just be games, the movie.
Yeah.
But that's the problem in general with adapting
They needed a
something
middle ground,
cinematic
man.
like Uncharted. So they should have just, made their own origin story if that's what they wanted to do. Started it off with the Nathan Drake.
Right? Is
started
this
it
supposed to be
going.
canonical in the games? No, it can't be.
No, it's not.
Then why not just do something cool?
It just doesn't do anything to actually get you started on its own Uncharted. It's scared to touch Uncharted because everyone's a big fan of it and they're very cinematic games. It's scared to touch it. So instead it does a really weird story that combines 5 different stories and 5 different set pieces from the games to where people can be like, "Oh, look, it's just like Uncharted 3. It's just like Uncharted 4." But the story itself is just so boring. Robbie, look, it turned on. What did you do?
I know. No, it's a time thing. The sun went down.
But yeah, boring, unfortunately, but still not bad.
Criminal waste of Antonio Banderas. It's
Antonio
so sad.
Banderas is what I was happy about the casting.
I know, it's just such a waste.
And then just
she's gone. He was before our eyes, and my boy was cut down in his prime.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I also gave it a 3 out of 5.
Up next, I do believe you have a couple things.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we gotta. We've already been going for 40 minutes.
I know. We're gonna ramp it up.
Speed up our
You're
time.
being all wordy on.
I know.
over
I
here.
want to talk about them
Okay.
though.
Okay. I watched the new Argento movie, Dario Argento. It's called Dark Glasses, and it's very good. It's very sweet. I didn't expect a movie about a prostitute to be so wholesome and sweet.
Sounds like you have a little bit of prejudices you need to work out in your heart.
Well,
Robbie.
from Dario Argento, his track record. I mean, I've only seen Suspiria, but I don't know. It's not what I expected. Maybe that's on me. I don't know. It was goofy. It was fun. It was a slice of life horror film for some reason.
Robbie,
It was really unique. I don't know.
Maybe you, like Peter B. Parker, need to re-examine your personal biases.
There you go. That's true. Okay, so last thing I want to mention. There is a part in the movie where they're being attacked by water snakes.
Ooh.
And there's dubstep playing.
That's very Argento.
And it's quite good.
That's so Argento.
No, it's very Argento, very fun, very sweet. It almost feels like if Ghibli made an Argento movie, that's what it would be.
What?
If that makes any sense.
It doesn't.
Then imagine Whisper of the Heart, but it's Argento and it's a slasher about a prostitute. If you can imagine that's what Dark Glasses is. But yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was great. It's no Suspiria, but it's great. And then I watched a fun little making of thing for Eternals, Marvel's Eternals.
Oh, I didn't think you'd actually mention that.
Why not? I don't know. Who cares? It was fun. I give it a 3 out of 5. It drew attention to the pretty good costume and production design in that movie, which I didn't really catch before. So,
which unfortunately is not that great of a movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very poorly lit, and you can't see the production design and costuming. Dude, have me regrade Eternals, please.
Then what, Robbie?
Then I watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film from Netflix with Elise Fisher in it. She's quite good. It was fun, and people who don't like it, what do you think? What are you doing?
I was about to say, most people
It's
I know
fun.
hate it.
Yeah, most people I know, they're like, oh, this is insufferable. It's terrible. One of the worst films of the year. I'm like, no way, man. You get people slicing with chainsaws. You get people slicing through stuff with chainsaws. You get people sliced with chainsaws. It's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Apparently, all you have to do to get Robbie to love your movie is slice people with chainsaws.
No, it's cool. It's actually a pretty good movie. Having now seen the original like 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I can see people being kind of upset with like the direction this goes, like because it's not even remotely similar to that, and it kind of it has like a weird homage to a lot of it, like it's a weird legacy sequel kind of thing, but it's also, I don't know. It was fine. I thought it was pretty great, actually. I liked the main cast. I liked a lot of the plotting, but it was pretty good. I gave it a 4 out of 4 out of 5. I don't know why I thought I said 5 out of 5. I'm like,
I
oh
it
no,
5 out of 5.
No, it is not a 5.
Up next was the Batman.
Batman. We did a whole episode.
We did do an episode
we did
on this
an episode
one.
on it.
I remember. So we won't talk about it much. But very cool movie.
One of the best of the year.
One of the best of the year.
Love to say it. We love to see it. Our good boy Matt Reeves. We became very acquainted with his films. In the past year.
We did the whole Planet of the Apes series on the podcast too. You should go check those out. But yeah, I gave it a 4.5. It's really fantastic. One of my favorite Batman movies, and one of the honestly the best superhero movies to come out in a while.
It's such a toss up for me on whether or not I like this better than The Dark Knight. It really just depends what day you catch me on, because I love The Dark Knight so much.
Stylistically
and I
better
love
than The Dark Knight.
I love this so much too. Yeah, I think I love the cinematography in this.
The cinematography and lighting in this are usually very good.
Yeah, but I love the screenplay for The Dark Knight.
The screenplay for The Dark Knight is also very good.
All right, but I gave it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was fantastic.
Up next, we have No Exit.
Little Hulu thriller.
Directed by Damien Power.
Damien Power. That's a cool name.
Right. Hulu original. It's got the Allstate guy.
It's got the Allstate guy, Dennis Haysbert. He's my man.
He's so cool. He's so cool.
He's so cool.
I want him in more stuff. I love him.
Dennis Haysbert.
He's in Heat. We need to watch Heat.
Yes.
He better have at least a talking part in Heat.
Yeah, baby. All right, No Exit. It's good.
Yeah,
a solid thriller.
It's a fine thriller. It doesn't do too much with its premise, but it does exactly what it needs to.
It's another good like contained thriller, like bottle thriller kind of thing, which are always fun. I always find those fun.
Yeah.
Like something like Grand Piano is a good comparison.
Yeah,
to
that's something that I've thought about a lot.
Yeah.
But it was a fun watch. I was not like bored or upset. Or
it has
anything.
some fun twists and turns. It has a fun ensemble. It's got a pretty good climax.
I was about to say it has a cool climax with some like kind of gore.
I'd be pretty dang proud if I made it.
Yeah,
I know.
I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's a solid film.
Nice. Up next, we have The Adam Project.
The Adam Project.
Isn't it Sean Levy?
Sean Levy, my man. Because he did Night at the Museum.
Listen, Sean, let's...
I love Night at the Museum.
Let's talk heart to heart here.
It's just me and you.
Just me and you. Night at the Museum. Movie from my childhood.
It's so sweet.
I like Night at the Museum. Please stop with the Ryan Reynolds movies. Free Guy gave you too much confidence.
Free Guy's a very complicated movie in a lot of ways, but it's also an extremely dumb and simple movie in a lot of ways. And I actually enjoyed The Adam Project a bit more.
Yeah, the Adam Project is fine. There's nothing that
Honestly,
bad about the Adam
like,
Project.
I think the reason so many people had such a strong distaste for it is just because they still hated Free Guy, and they were like, ugh, it's Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the flavor that Sean Levy brings to his movies. And I know that seems kind of mean, like recent Sean Levy.
Yeah,
I mean,
recently.
it comes through in some of his old stuff, like Big Fat Lie. Yeah, it's just Big Fat Liar, I think. Yeah. Like, it has that kind of just the way he writes. There's something about his humor and everything that comes through in a really weird way to me.
It just comes off as very annoying sometimes,
And
which
I think
is a shame.
And I think it worked, and I think it works like in the Pink Panther and in Night at the Museum.
Dude, he did Pink Panther. That is a great
Steve
movie.
Martin. Yeah, he's done some good movies,
man. That's a great movie.
So like, modern Sean Levy, this just isn't. It's not for me. It's not my thing.
Okay, I liked the screenplay actually a little bit this time around, which I didn't expect. And they got Mark Ruffalo saying "old bean," which is quite good. It's where I don't know if I would like recommend it, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought about it a little after I watched it. It didn't immediately evaporate from the folds of my brain.
Like Free Guy.
Like Free Guy.
Which is probably a fake movie. I can't confirm.
I think I remember 2 scenes from Free Guy. I actually remember a couple sequences from the Adam Project.
I don't.
I thought it was
I didn't like
good.
the action.
The action was It was all right. I liked some of the ideas in the screenplay, and that's what I remember it for.
But anyway, I gave it a 2.5.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice indeed.
Up next, what do we have? We have the next Pixar film.
The next
Pixar film that came out, which was Turning Red.
What?
Unfortunately, no theater release for my boy Turning Red.
Turning Red.
Which is a shame, because this thing would have rocked in theaters.
It would have. It would have killed.
Imagine the giant.
This is such a good comedy.
The giant panda stuff in theaters. That would be epic.
Micah, imagine laughing along with like a packed theater to Turning Red.
Right. This thing is really funny. It's
so funny.
All the stupid drama around this movie really only makes it more funny in my mind, because it is just unequivocally the stupidest, most middle schooler movie you've ever seen.
It's like the dumbest teen like coming of age movie,
and I love it for that.
Probably ever.
So then people are like, "Where's 9/11? He hit the Pentagon."
Oh my gosh.
And like, oh no, periods.
I swear.
It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. It's a little sad. It is sad, but it's hilarious to me personally.
I really liked the vocal cast. I loved the animation. I loved how like well written the comedy was.
Yeah, like dude,
I loved how expressive it is.
There's some of the funniest things in this from Pixar, I think.
No, some of Pixar's top jokes are
some
in this movie,
of the
no
most
question.
Expressive characters I've ever seen from Pixar. The facial expressions are insane.
There's a real emotional authenticity to it, which doesn't hit fully.
Yeah,
I will say
its
climax isn't perfect. That's
conflict,
really where it trips up.
Its conflict in general with the Red Panda mom stuff is probably its weakest element.
It is.
Because its strongest element is just these characters and these girls being goofy and fun.
I love the characters in Turning Red. They're so good.
But yeah, great movie. Like genuinely, like again, like the sketchbook stuff is probably some of the funniest stuff in Pixar like ever.
Yeah, go watch Turning Red. If you've been putting it off, go watch Turning Red. It's a great film.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Also, quick shout out to the making of documentary for Turning Red, Embrace the Panda, because it's fun, and you should go watch that.
You should
if you
go
enjoy Turning
embrace
Red.
the panda.
You should go and embrace the panda.
Can you mute the microphone for a second?
Okay, hold on. Yes, I can.
Second.
Well, I think I can. We're just going to slide it down. Whoa, what was that?
Whoa.
That was crazy.
Dang, I didn't want to blow my nose in your guys' ears.
Good call, good call. We've been a little under the weather.
Yeah, I'm still like I'm not certifiably sick today, but I was probably still certifiably sick
running
yesterday.
Like crazy this morning. Running like for its life, I think.
All right, so next up after that, I have The Weekend Away, a Netflix original thriller. I'm not going to spend any time on this because it's not good. It's really weird. It doesn't have a cool concept.
Sad.
It's not well directed or acted. It brings nothing original, and it's boring.
Oh.
I give it a 2 out of 5. I literally just I just forgot about it. Nobody cares. What did we watch next?
Next up, we watched Deadstream.
Not to be mixed up with Deadware.
Deadstream, two entirely different
two
movies.
found footage, low budget indie horror movies.
Found footage,
but very different.
It's about a Twitch streamer.
It's about a Twitch streamer
trying to bounce back from his tarnished reputation.
Yeah, he made bad decisions, put people in danger, said some bad things, which is an interesting theme. It
sounds like a very cringy horror movie.
Robbie, think about the Barbarian similarities.
Yeah,
the themes.
Actually, this would make a killer double feature with Barbarian. I think it'd be so funny.
So from that premise, it sounds really bad, and honestly, I thought it looked kind of bad. But like when we watched it, I really had a lot of fun with it. It's genuinely really funny.
It's so funny, dude.
And like,
it's kind of scary too.
Its horror stuff is really goofy and fun.
It's so goofy. It needed like 20% more gore, and it would have been like perfect. I think.
I wish this thing was gory. I really wish it was gory. Like it's not gory. There's some gore.
There's some blood. There's some. But
guts. It needed to be a little grosser.
This
thing would have been like.
It needed like one show-stopping monster and a little bit more gore, and it would have been like perfect.
It could have been a perfect movie, which is hilarious coming from Deadstream.
Yeah, baby.
But it was really fun. Directed by Joseph Winter and Vanessa Winter.
We love to see it, honestly. Like,
which they had worked on some of the VHS stuff.
Oh, nice.
They had worked on segments in VHS 99.
Very nice. But yeah, Deadstream, great film. Go watch it if that sounds interesting to you. It's really funny.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Oh, also, my joke in my review, I said I need a sequel to Deadstream called Demonetized, but it's like
Demonetized.
That would be so good.
It would be. All right, up next we have Netflix original Windfall.
I'm a little upset that we didn't do an episode on this yet, because like we both really loved it, and not very many people seem to like it. Strangely enough,
people kind of hated it.
What? It's like proto Glass Onion, Micah. In a way. It's just rich people.
What did you just say to me, Robbie?
I said proto Glass Onion, Micah.
Yeah, so it's a very odd movie because one of the biggest complaints is just that it's just too simple. Like it's too boring. It isn't really saying anything. Nothing's really happening.
But what if all of that is wrong?
But I think that's a legitimate complaint you could take away from the movie. It is very simple. It is very small. But man, I don't know. I think movies should be allowed to be simple.
It's got that
small.
energy.
Like it's fun. It's entertaining. I enjoyed the conflict. I really enjoyed the performances from Jesse Plemons and Lily Collins and Jason Segel. The three of them are really fun together. There's some cool tension builders.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't have much to say.
I love Jesse Plemons. He's so good.
It doesn't have much to say. It's just like, wow, look at this really, really terrible rich person. Explore.
They're kind of terrible.
Whoops. So like it doesn't have much to say, but I don't think it has to say much. Like I don't think
it's really captivating.
I don't think this movie is required to have any more depth than it has because in my opinion it is really fun and it looks good and I liked the performances and I was entertained.
It reminded me of like I don't know, like 50s and 60s era movies in a lot of ways.
Which I think,
it's very classical.
It's very kind of classical in its feeling. It's not trying to do something as a movie. It's not like setting out to be like, here is this. It's written in that kind of way where like things like it's just this thing leads to this thing, which leads to this thing, which happened a lot in especially older movies.
Yeah. But yeah, Windfall, great film. I really like it. If you have a Netflix subscription still, go check it out.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I also give it a 4 out of 5, if you can even believe it.
That's so crazy. Up next, we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Which, once we own this movie, we will probably have Luke on and we'll do an episode on it.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, very culturally big, like much bigger movie than I would expect.
Yeah. And there's some interesting criticisms.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to get pulled into the emotion of this movie.
Yes.
And not think about it very critically, which is why there's a lot of people
who are like best film ever made.
Who are like
kind
defending this like they will murder your
like
family
it's the
if you don't like Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, and I've seen some interesting things from it, and I've thought about it a lot. It's an odd movie, but
Very
then again, the
strange.
Daniels always make really odd movies.
Yeah. I almost think I prefer Swiss Army Man. It would be very close. Very close. I actually gave Swiss Army Man a 4 and I gave this a 5, but it would, I don't know, it's like teetering, man.
There really is some fantastic craft here. I think
Yeah.
on the whole, I think the costume designing alone is just incredible
It's
to
so
watch here.
good.
I love the costume work. But I could see not liking it. I could see loving it.
I really liked the lighting, actually.
I watched it
quite good.
twice in theaters.
I only saw it once, so.
So it's very interesting. Yeah. I'd like to talk
Good
about
movie.
it sometime on the podcast.
It's a good movie.
I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I give it a 5 out of 5. Hesitant, but 5 out of 5.
I think it has some pacing problems
It
for
does.
sure.
It does.
And
It has some weird tonal stuff too.
Yeah, and weird tonal stuff. It's so odd. There's too much to dissect to talk about it on here. Well,
Yeah.
again, it would make a great episode.
Be a good episode, yeah.
What do we watch next, Robbie?
Then we went out to the theater with our grandfather, and we watched the new Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum rom-com.
Which our grandfather likes going to the movies a lot, which is
Good.
which is cool.
Yes, he's one of the reasons we probably like movies.
One of the
as much as
reasons
we do.
we've gone to the theater as much as we have. That's for
Yes.
sure.
But it's called The Lost City.
Yes.
Directed by Adam and Aaron Nee. And it, what was that?
Trying to hold back a cough.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at their
No.
names.
No,
I'm like,
I was-
Micah, how insensitive.
No, I was trying to hold back a cough.
But The Lost City, it has more personality than I thought it would. It's
Yeah,
more fun
no.
than I thought it would be.
It's not the greatest
not-
thing in the world.
It's not like it's not doing anything too crazy, but it's very fun.
It's goofy, it's
And I
fun,
liked
it's
it.
got personality. I don't know. It's another movie that's very much what it is. It's in its lane. It's just being entertaining.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I liked it.
I liked Brad Pitt's character in it a lot. I think they could have
Brad
used
Pitt was fun.
I think they could have
Yeah.
used Daniel Radcliffe to be a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
He's a very good actor, yeah.
and especially in like goofy roles. And like he could have killed it if they would have like
He needed
even amped it up a
he
little
needed
bit more.
he needed a little better material, a little more screen time. He could have been great.
But
He could have been one of the greats. He could have been a contender.
But anyway, it's still really fun and like yeah, it was enjoyable. I watched it twice actually. So yeah,
I think I watched it, just twice. Yeah.
So it was very enjoyable.
Fond memories. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.5. Up next, we watched Apollo 10.5, another Netflix original movie.
The Linklater boys
Richard Linklater.
are back.
The Linklater boys are back. What?
Linklater fans rise, because I love Richard Linklater films.
You've watched 2.
And they both
No,
rock.
3.
They both rock. They all rock, is what I'm saying.
He is a cool director.
He's a very fun director.
This
in
movie,
my eyes.
this movie is so weird because it's like, it's like an hour and a half.
It's like a podcast or something.
Yeah, it's like a podcast. It's like historical fiction. It's really weird.
It's
like a
so-
documentary almost.
It's so cool,
It's
man.
odd.
I love it.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I like what it's doing. I liked almost all of it, like while Jack Black was narrating.
Yeah, which is like 80% of the
Which
movie.
is the most of the movie, yeah. Like while he was narrating and you got cool stuff, I
It's
enjoyed
so much
it.
fun.
I didn't really like the actual plot stuff in terms of the whole like kid imagines himself going to the moon kind of thing.
I mean, that's really like more of a side note, like an asterisk.
But that is the plot of the movie.
the plot of the movie. It's a meditation on childhood.
Yeah, it's
And
very.
it was very sweet
very
and very
interesting.
nostalgic, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
One of my favorite animated films of the year, and it should have been nominated for Best Animated Feature.
It's
But
rotoscope.
it's rotoscoped, which
Is still technically animation.
I'm very sad about it, because this is like one of my few 5-star animated films of this year.
It's not a 5. It's not even close to a 5.
It's a 5.
I love so we slowly approached the end of the year and we were talking about doing this and rankings and everything. And Robbie took these movies, Kimmy, Apollo 10.5, 2 of them for examples, and he took them and he looked at them right in their 4-star faces.
No,
4 and
not
3.5 star
4,
faces.
Micah.
And he was like, but I liked them, and he moved them a little higher. And he was going a little bit later. He's like, I still like thee. And he moved a little higher. And he's
Can we get much higher?
He's like, you know what? We're ranking them. Why don't I just pop them up to 5s and throw them on the top of the pile?
Okay, Apollo 10.5, A Space Age Childhood. Go watch it.
It's not a 5.
Because it's great.
It is at 3.5, and it is a very good movie.
It's a great film.
It's a very good movie.
It's a very great film.
Maybe you have gotten too liberal with those 5 stars, Robbie. You're just throwing them out everywhere.
Oh.
Up next, what did we watch?
Speaking
Robbie?
of too liberal, we watched Bodies.
Oh, Bodies.
A24, baby.
My beloved.
This honestly, peak A24.
It's an odd movie because it rides a very careful balance of being like old people writing Gen Z stuff.
It's so close to just being like absolutely
and it's
garbage.
It's this close to not working at all. But there's something that really is enjoyable and funny and like really just like engaging to be a part of. It's not as scary as I was hoping it to be.
No, it's not.
And its whole like phone bad message is kind of laughable.
Is that the message? I guess kind of.
That's like the presented message, yeah. It's
yeah.
that their obsession with social media and each other's images is what ends up.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's what ends up. Yeah. So it kind of rides the thin line between being like cringe trash,
ultra cringe, yeah,
and like really funny with really funny, engaging cast.
Micah, there's so many good parts in this. I love the cast of this.
The cast really carries this hard.
It
it's
does.
So much fun to watch them, and I think it's well directed and well lit and shot.
It is very well directed, I would argue. The fact that you have like these monologues about podcasting and they're actually really funny and engaging is very good. I would be so happy if I made this movie. I would be like, this is a triumph.
It's public.
Dude, and the Charlie XCX song for this, nominated for best original song.
Upper middle class.
Your parents are upper middle class. It's so good.
It's public. There's so many great line performances and stuff in this. It's very, very good.
Very good editing too. I want to shout that out because I love to see it.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really can't wait to watch it.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
I can't wait to watch it.
I want to own the Blu-ray.
I want
to see it over and over again because I feel like it's going to be really funny.
Exactly. This feels like something that could be a classic. It runs a tough line, but I think it pulls it off.
It does. I would argue. All right. I watched a little Disney Plus movie. A little ditty. It actually is a ditty because it's a musical. It's called Better Nate Than Ever.
Better Call Saul.
It was fine. It was a fine movie that did fine things and was fine.
It sure was fine.
And I gave it a 3 out of 5.
There you go.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know.
What came out next, Robbie? What was the next release?
The next film.
Okay, fine. I'll say
it's Ambulance.
It's by Michael Bay.
It's Michael Bay's Ambulance.
To this point of watching this, I kind of have hated everything from Michael Bay I've seen. I kind of don't like him as a person.
Yeah,
he's icky. I don't like him.
He's got. If you're listening to this, Michael Bay, you got some icky practices in your making art, and I don't approve. But I do like Ambulance.
The female character in this looking like the female characters in all of his movies. Like the moment I saw her, and she kind of looked similar. I was like, oh no.
Embarrassing.
He did it again.
He did it again.
Why?
Although, to her credit, she's great in this.
No, she gives a great performance. Yeah. She's like, honestly, without her, the movie is... Like, the two leads obviously give fantastic performances, but her character really does kind of tie the whole thing together.
Absolutely. It's a great film,
But the three of them in general are fantastic in this.
Yeah. It's got such a great emotional core, man.
That's
what I really want to praise.
I love all the stylistic things in this. I think it's a little too flashy in places, a little bit too Bay-y. But it really is just so fun and engaging and has, again, a great emotional core. Yeah. That's what makes it work. The two of them as brothers, their story, her tying into their relationship, all the conflict that comes about, the way the plot kind of weaves around all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really engaging, and it's really fun to watch.
Micah, you didn't even mention Nitro, the giant dog that is in this movie.
Nitro, the giant dog. He is a plus.
It's so good.
Like,
I was gonna mention the lighting and cinematography in this are phenomenal, but the editing just kills it. The editing kills it.
Is weird too, even, but the editing is kind of bad. Like,
honestly, I think the editing is the only bad part of this movie. I think everything else is like fantastic.
I don't know why Michael Bay edits movies. Like, obviously he doesn't personally edit movies.
He's not
this
cutting
way,
them,
but like. His movies have very similar editing problems, and I can't stand the way he edits movies. His team edits movies.
Not great. Not great editing, but great everything else, I think.
4.5 out of 5.
My favorite Jake Gyllenhaal role, maybe? It's close. It's close. Between something like Okja and this.
It's pretty crazy.
But yeah.
He's really good in this.
He's really good in this, man. This role was like made for him, I think.
Like you got like Nightcrawler,
I haven't seen Nightcrawler. I haven't seen Prisoners.
Donnie Darko,
I don't like
Okja.
Yeah.
Wildlife.
I just haven't seen very many of his movies, I guess. But yeah, it was good. I give it a 5 out of 5.
Up next on the release schedule, we have The Bad Guys, a DreamWorks picture.
DreamWorks still putting out movies? What? That's crazy.
We weren't able to catch the new Puss in Boots movie before doing this, which is sad.
Because I love Puss in Boots. I actually liked the first Puss in Boots. It was a great movie.
Yeah, there was a couple of movies we missed that I would have liked to get to. All Quiet on the Western Front, Tar, just occasional.
I do wish we had watched Tar, yeah.
But The Bad Guys, I really enjoyed this. We talked about it to some length before. We didn't do an episode on it, I don't think, did we?
No, we did not.
Yeah. But we had talked about it, and
it's cool.
Yeah, it's like
cool
it's a neat movie. It's not my favorite thing from DreamWorks, but it really is like visually creative, and
Micah,
I liked the characters.
Like 6-year-old you would have eaten this up so quickly.
It would have been my favorite movie as a kid. I guarantee it.
Also, Professor Marmalade says marmalade, and he also plays the guy who says marmalade in Paddington 2. And it's cool. If that makes any sense. That probably made no sense.
Luckily, Awkwafina is not in it that much.
Awkwafina, one of her less cringe roles, for sure.
I was about to say...
That's really how you rate Awkwafina.
Being that I was introduced to Awkwafina through The Farewell...
Dude, it's all downhill.
It's been so...
It goes downhill so quickly.
I feel bad just trash talking her like everyone does, because I think she's really good
in
The Farewell.
Good. She's such a great actress. And she just needs good material.
Her comedy is just bad.
It's bad. Her she's not a good comedic actor. Stop trying to give her comedy.
Give her dramatic roles.
Put her
in dramas like The Farewell.
She's so good.
And besides, The Farewell is like half comedy, and it's funny because she's not trying to give jokes.
Because she's not trying to deliver jokes. She's just let the material be funny.
But yes, very cool movie.
Bad Guys.
Interesting animation.
It looks cool. I like it.
I like the
vocal cast. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah,
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Much, but I also give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Next up, I watched a horror movie called Amma, which has its problems. Obviously, I don't know. Do you remember like the criticisms a lot of people throw at It Comes at Night?
Like in terms of being, most of the criticism I hear is people just it's not being what they expected it to be.
Well, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people complain about how It Comes at Night doesn't flesh out its themes in a lot of ways, and it has like a really poor momentum. All the criticisms that I've heard about It Comes at Night could be applied to Amma in all sincerity, because I like it. I like the idea of Amma. And then the execution, I am just so dang bored when I watch it. So I was disappointed for sure. It wasn't bad, but like, I don't know, the central duo, they're good actresses, and they're just not on screen together very much. They're like, all of their scenes are like separate. And I don't know why.
That's kind of funny.
But yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's a bit generous, but like, I don't know. It wasn't wasn't terrible.
Robbie's Mr. Generous with ratings this year.
It wasn't terrible. I would feel so bad if I just walked up to the people who made this movie and said, 2 out of 5, bad movie. I'm so sorry. Better luck next time.
Being critical about art is interesting because
It is.
people still put a lot of work into the stuff like this, and it's still a feat that it got made, and you got to give respect to the creators.
Put some respect.
Put
some respect on the medium,
that doesn't
too.
mean you cannot that you can't not like the movie.
Yes. That's the thing. I didn't not like Amma. I just wanted so much more from it. So it made me sad.
Then what did you watch, Robbie? Because you're just watching all these movies.
I watched a little space rom-com called Moonshot. I believe it's on HBO Max. It has...
Is it still on HBO Max?
It has Cole Sprouse and Lana Condor, which she was in To All the Boys I Loved Before. She's actually pretty good here too, believe it or not.
She's a good actress.
Cole Sprouse and Lana Condor honestly like kind of carry this movie. It's got some fun sci-fi-ish stuff, but it's mostly just kind of cute. I kind of feel the same way about Moonshot as I did about Marry Me, where I was like, yeah, that was sweet, that was fun, whatever. Moving on. I give it a 3 out of 5.
Then up next in release order,
Whew.
we have the fiery fire of cinema.
Heck yeah,
man. The most fun action movie of the year, probably.
Probably one of the best action movies ever made, I would argue.
We have RRR.
RRR, baby. Yes. It's so good.
We just watched this the other
So
day.
good.
We wanted to catch it before we did this because we had heard really great things.
Yes.
Country boy.
Country boy. I love you. Yes.
But yes, RRR. It's so crazy. It pulls off this runtime really, really well. The action scenes are electric and beautiful.
Yes.
The performances of my 2 freaking leads,
Yes.
I love them.
They're so
I
good.
want them in more things together.
They're so good.
Give me, I literally would just love these characters to see more from these two.
I honestly just kind of want to watch RRR 2. Like, give me RRR 2. I won't complain.
Yeah, just them.
They're the way it's written with such like a emotional intensity, like you just want them to be friends forever.
It has such a...
It's got the certified BFF energy, Mike. And it's so good. I love RRR.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's got this like real brotherhood kind of love imbued into it.
It's what I praise regular show for, but like this is way better.
It also
It's
has
brotherhood,
some of the craziest action you've ever seen, and you have like your 2 leads doing just like the most insane action things ever.
And it's a musical.
And the songs are
And
fun.
it's great.
And the dancing is great.
Yes.
And like the
it's got so
production
many
stuff
good
is
set
great.
pieces, Micah.
Like this movie is pretty much just great set piece.
It's great set piece after great set piece, really.
Like literally.
It's so good.
And it pulls off the runtime really well. It's super crazy. I wish it had an intermission. Like, I don't know why they cut that in this version.
See, actually, I heard in the theatrical cut, you know how they did the little title cards with the 3 R's?
Yeah.
It did like an intermission, like with the 3 R's, and then it played the score. And in the version we watched it through Z5, which actually is a good way to watch it.
If I understand right, when they did the whole little band thing is where the intermission is.
Yeah, right after the big climactic palace storming scene, you get the intermission, but we didn't have that in our streaming version.
Where did we catch it on?
Z5. Go watch it on that. Do not watch it on Netflix.
We got the original language, and Netflix is stupid.
Yes,
it doesn't have it.
Netflix only has it in Hindu and not Telugu, which Telugu is its original language, and you should go watch it in that because it probably sounds a lot better. And it's in its original aspect ratio too. They crop it in Netflix, Micah. They crop it.
Right.
You can't crop my boys. You can't crop the glorious CGI tigers, Micah.
I love this movie. It's the moral of the story. It's one of the best of the year for sure.
Oh, easily.
It's not my. It's even not like my favorite thing in the world. Like there's stuff about it that I'm like, that's not my thing.
Take it or leave it. Yeah.
But like at the same time, I cannot deny that this thing is just insanely good.
It's like one of the greatest examples of like setup and payoff for emotional stuff and practical stuff that I've seen in a screenplay recently. It's really great.
Speaking of really great, Robbie, also we both gave that a 5 out of 5 if you can imagine. Speaking of really great,
Oh
the next
gosh.
release order is Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of
Micah,
Dumbledore.
we go from the one of the best of the year to easily one of the worst of the year.
the
Secrets of Dumbledore. Is this even a movie? Is it even a movie?
No.
Can anyone confirm that like it's a movie
No.
for me?
No.
I'm not watching it again. I can't tell you if it's a movie. It's so bad. I didn't think it would be worse than Crimes of Grindelwald, but it might honestly be. That's a stretch, maybe.
I didn't put it
Crimes
as
of
worse
Grindelwald
than
is
Crimes of
bad.
Grindelwald,
Is really bad.
but
Dumbledore, Secrets of Dumbledore.
there is nothing.
It's got something.
There is nothing worth watching.
There's
nothing.
no.
Especially,
No.
it's got a long runtime. Its plot makes no sense. There's bad effects.
Oh.
It's got kind of a weird, not great message. It's just bad.
It's a bad movie. It's a certified bad movie.
It doesn't feel like
man.
a movie. It feels like you're going insane while watching
I
it.
kind of felt like I was losing my mind.
Because it's just like weird scene paced after weird scene after weird scene, and things are just happening.
It's so strange.
But yet nothing is. It's so
weird.
It's bad. Sorry, David Yates. You did a good job on some of.
Someone
the movies.
save Mads Mikkelsen. He doesn't deserve this.
Someone save everyone involved in this production,
Right.
please.
Someone save the Harry Potter franchise, please.
Well, see, I don't know.
Maybe just let it die.
I was going to say, just let it.
Let the past die. Kill it if you.
Let it sit back there. But it's okay.
Oh man, it's so bad. I'm
but-
so sorry to anyone who enjoys Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm glad someone does. If someone out there gets any enjoyment
I
out
gave
of
it. I gave it 2 stars because I think there are some elements of
What?
it that are not that
no.
bad. On paper, it is not the worst movie ever made, but it's just so bafflingly.
The
poorly
screenplay
executed.
is terrible, Micah.
Anyway, moving
It's
on.
terrible.
What did you give it, Robbie?
I give it a 1 out of 5. It is not good. Certified bad time at the movies.
Moving on, though.
Certified good time at the movies coming up. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
2. Better than the first one.
Better than the first one. Not by much, but better. Better for sure. It's got Idris Elba, and he's pretty fun.
It's
got James Marsden.
Do I look like I need your power?
You know, I wish they would just like almost not drop. I wish it was more comedy oriented, and it's already like so comedy oriented. I just want it to be funnier.
Most of my problems
I want
with
it to be
this
funnier.
have to do with my problems in the first one as a starting of the universe.
Yeah.
I'm still not crazy as much as I like Ben Schwartz, like as a voice actor and everything. I don't like him as Sonic.
He's not. I don't know. He's not the Sonic that lives in my brain.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna be totally happy with him. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, like that's whatever. But like combine that with the setup that they gave the world, it has this really hard time blending this real world stuff that they included and like the goofy Sonic stuff, and
that's what's holding it back.
And
really.
This time it goes like above and beyond, and it tries to reach for the fences.
It's decidedly a lot.
Stars.
It's decidedly a lot goofier than the first one in its like actual plot. But like I don't know, it still doesn't hit totally right.
Yeah, like
which is a shame.
Because I really love the stuff that they do with Eggman and Knuckles and Tails. Tails is in this, and he's got his like his cartoon voice actor. It's great. So like there are a lot of elements. I still kind of wish this wasn't set in our world. You know, I wish they had more fun with like the Sonic universe.
Yeah, I want it to be a little more Sonic
because I really love
not as much Hedgehog. You know,
I really love. Dr. Eggman, obviously. I like the cast. Even the stuff that they do with the human stuff, like the wedding and stuff, is kind of like it's fun.
I like the Marsden B plot in this. I will say
it's fun. It's just also weird to be in the movie, and it plays into part of like I think the tonal problem this movie has.
Yeah, it's a strange one for sure. Like of like modern American family action movies, this is like one of the weirdest ones you're probably gonna find.
But it is very important to me to have the next one for my childhood.
Shadow the Hedgehog, baby.
I am waiting to hear who is voicing him,
dude.
Because we used to be we used to be crazy about Sonic.
I love Sonic.
We read the I mean, yeah, I love.
I
Sonic.
mean, look at me. Of course, I love.
We read the comics. We were part of a stupid like fan club. We had like we brought the Sonic
short-lived Sonic fan club.
Sonic magazine, and we had Sonic OCs
Dude,
for everyone.
The Sonic comic books are so good.
So like we got pretty into Sonic, and Shadow was always my favorite character. So he's being brought to the silver screen, and I'm gonna need them to do him right.
Do him justice. You think they did Knuckles all right? I think they did.
He's so weird.
He's very
I don't
strange.
like how stupid he is.
Yeah, he's very dumb.
I don't like that he's like actively like, oh, what is this? This is ice cream.
Like,
what is ice cream?
I feel like he's logic. He should be able to piece together a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, like even
he's a smart guy.
Like,
he's supposed to be a smart guy.
He's not from there, but you don't go to some place you've never been to and be like, cup. What is a cup?
If I went to Japan and I saw some wasabi on a plate, I wouldn't be, what is this creamed liquid on my plate? What's going on? I would be like, oh, this must be some kind of sauce or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's just out of place for somebody who is honestly like in the series. Knuckles is probably like the most competent out of anybody.
Right?
In the entire
like Sonic is kind of dumb compared to him in the comics.
He's always like he's full of himself and goofy.
He's got an ego, so he's like supposed to be kind of funny because you can laugh at him, but like he's not supposed to be dumb.
Yeah, that was maybe.
Who cares? This is Sonic 2. What are we doing?
We're going on a long tangent on Sonic 2. This is what we're choosing to spend our precious
3 out of
minutes.
5. It's a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it.
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Up next, I don't really talk about this much because it's not even technically a movie. But I logged Moon Knight.
We logged a Moon Knight.
It's got big problems.
I
sure do like Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke.
I sure do
like Moon Knight as a character. I sure do
like the Moon Knight costume and
character. It sure is weird that they cut 90% of him being Jewish.
Sure is weird that they have no plot for the show for like half the episodes.
It sure is weird that it has a very odd CGI climax that has weird oddness.
Sure is weird that it's kind of bad, but like not bad enough to really get upset about it.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I also gave it a 3 out of 5.
It's pretty mid.
Pretty mid, yeah.
Sadly enough.
Makes me sad. Briefly touch on this film. It's called Night's End. It's directed by Jennifer Reeder. It is a independent horror film, kind of psychological thriller. Almost. It has Michael Shannon in it briefly. But he calls himself a cheese ball in this movie. So I liked it. And I gave it a 3 out of 5.
You're like, I'm going to briefly talk of this movie by saying everything about it very slowly.
I thought it was fun. Okay. Also, quick shout out to Jared Carmichael Rothaniel. It is a comedy special that Bo Burnham directed, and it is phenomenal. One of the best things of the year, and you should go watch it if you are up to it.
Nice.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Great stuff. It's so good.
Nice.
Yes.
Up next in release order is The Frickin' Northman.
The Rise of the
Northman. Robert Eggers. My first Robert Eggers picture.
Yeah,
The Northman.
The Northman.
Crazy movie.
I look like I should be like an extra in The Northman, like somewhere like covered in mud in the background.
I was about to say dead.
Yeah, like dead in the I'm not like a hulking guy.
One of the people dead in the background.
I'll be like one of the hand servants in the castle or something.
No, you're not even buff enough for that. Like those, even the hand servants are like beasts.
Yeah,
what is going on?
That's true. But The Northman, it's a great movie. It's fantastic.
This is one of my favorite movies of the year.
Oh, easily.
This is my top 3.
It's great.
I really love what it's doing stylistically. I was actually reading yesterday, just reading some of the complaints about it, because I know not everybody is crazy about it, and there's some interesting complaints about it, about its pacing, about a lot of how people. The one was weird because somebody was like, it's weird because everyone talks about how crazy this is, and yet the cinematography is so slick. And I was like, but I like the slickness of its cinematography. Like, it's very...
I think didn't Patrick Williams say that? It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, it is kind of weird.
So stylistically, it is odd, but I just really love... And he was also talking about how it doesn't fully go for everything that it could. Like, it doesn't take it to quite the next notch, which it did have a lot of studio messing with it, if I recall. Like there
Probably.
was a lot of
It wouldn't surprise me.
The studio wouldn't let him
For
do
something
everything
like
he
this.
wanted to do for this. So it doesn't go as crazy as he wanted it to, but it still is a wild ride, and I love it.
Yes, it's very, very good. It's so good.
I love Anya Taylor-Joy's performance in this, especially. It's probably my favorite performance from her.
It's really well blocked and pretty well shot too.
Yeah, like I really love being in this movie. I love the action. I love the plot. It's
got a real energy to it. I gotta admire it.
I enjoy the characters a lot. I don't know. This is my kind of movie.
Yeah, it is very much his kind of movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Very, very close. I want to give it a 5 on a rewatch, maybe.
Kimmy, yes, Kimmy, you are a 5-star. Look, here comes Apollo 10.5. Hello, Apollo 10.5. You get a 5-star. Here comes Robert Eggers, the Northman. Great movie. 4 stars.
No, it never drew me in emotionally, and I feel like it
drew me in emotionally.
I know. I want to watch it again so I can fully embrace what it's doing. We're gonna watch it later.
Yeah, I got it on 4K for Christmas.
Got it on 4K. And then we watched.
What do we do next?
There was a movie called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
We did a podcast.
And we did a whole podcast about it.
That's so crazy.
It's our longest episode of the show. And it's features our good friend of the podcast, Yossi.
Yeah, very, very
my
cool.
boy.
Go check that out.
Yeah.
I still give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I have since that episode given it a 4 out of 5. So.
Very nice.
Great film.
Up next, I watched Along for the Ride.
Along for the Ride.
A Netflix original rom-com.
Rom-coms?
Yeah.
You know, rom-coms are kind of a mixed bag most of the time. It's a movie.
It's a high school rom-com.
It's a Netflix high school rom-com.
And that's about all you need to know. I gave it 3 out of 5. There you go. Moving on.
Very nice.
What happened next?
Next, we watched the second best action movie of the year, and also
It's not the second best action movie.
What do you mean?
It's not.
What are you talking about?
What
else is there?
I'm talking about that.
That's not an action movie.
Movie.
Okay, never mind. Okay, scrap everything I said. It's a great action movie. This year had a lot of great action movies.
You could call The Northman an action movie.
This year had a lot of great action movies, and this was one of them. It's called Top Gun Maverick, and it's directed by one of the best modern directors. Or wait, no, I thought it was.
It's produced by.
Holy moly!
I do not think this is one of
Why
the
did
best
I think? Why did I think it was Christopher?
Joseph
McQuarrie?
Kosinski directed this, which he directed Tron Legacy, Oblivion, and Spiderhead.
Okay, never mind. I'm okay.
Shaky at best track record.
Joseph Kosinski, I like your movies, but you are not one of the best directors currently.
You were thinking of Christopher McQuarrie
I was thinking of
and Tom Cruise being the executive producers on this.
Yes, which they are a match made in filmmaking heaven. And I can't wait for the new Mission Impossible movie. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick, it's phenomenal. It's one of the best crowd pleaser movies of this year, easily.
It's really good. Whatever. I don't know. It's not.
It's a joy, man.
Top Gun has never been my cup of tea. This was not my cup of tea. It pulls off what it does very, very well. It's a very good-looking movie. I probably will never personally seek out to watch it again. Mm-hmm. I'm not that crazy about it.
That finale, Micah.
The finale. I don't it's a good finale, but I don't get. Okay, I don't get emotional into it at all. I could care less.
Aww.
I like Miles Teller and I like Tom Cruise, but this just it's not my cup of tea by any standpoint.
You make me sad.
So it's really just not the movie for me. I still think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's got such a great payoff in its finale, and it's so well shot and edited, and the sound design, it's so good.
But I don't get anything out of it personally. Listen,
I gave it a 5 out of 5. I
gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It's still fantastic. It's just not my favorite.
Fair enough.
Up next, I watched Sneakerella.
I'm a little sad that I didn't catch this one because I actually wanted to see it.
A weird musical version of Cinderella about a guy who makes sneakers.
Nice.
It does some
love to see
it does some cool things. I don't like its musical numbers. I wish it wasn't a musical. Its musical numbers are kind of bad and stylistically kind of bad.
That sucks.
But outside of that, it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's nothing crazy. It's a Disney Channel movie. But it's fun. I like the kid who makes the sneakers. I like his sneakers.
I like his sneakers. Like his fine movie. I liked his sneakers. Thank you.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Nice. And then we went out to the theater yet again, and we watched.
Again, not in timeline order here.
I know. But we watched Firestarter, the remake,
which
of
is
Firestarter.
not something I would have paid to go see in the theaters. But we woke up one morning and our parents were like, "You want to go to the theater?" And
I'm
we
like,
were
"Heck yeah, we want to go to the theater." And we watched Firestarter, and it was not great.
It's not bad. It's not great.
I think it's a little bad.
It's a little bad. It's a little bad. But it's not like the worst.
A little bad.
It's
bad with a lowercase b.
It doesn't really do anything well.
There's ideas. It's got ideas.
Zac Efron is here. He's the dad.
It's passable. Really, the highlight of the movie for me is we went and saw it in the theater, so we got to see the Nope trailer before.
Oh yeah, we got the Nope trailer.
And the Nope trailer was phenomenal.
And the Don't Worry Darling trailer.
And the Don't Worry Darling trailer, which is also one of the best trailers.
Which is one of the best trailers of the year, and we'll get to that later.
But yeah, Firestarter, not my thing. Neat ideas. A pretty all right cast too.
I don't even like the stupid execution of this. I just don't like the story at all. Like, I think it's a dumb story. So
yeah. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Not my thing.
Up next, Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale.
Rescue Rangers. I was a huge Chip and Dale fan growing up, and this movie still has a lot of its charms. I actually rewatched it.
Cool. I want to give it another shot. Honestly,
it's got a lot of charm. It's not as good.
Has its charms.
It's not as good as anywhere near as good as something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. No. But it does hold a lot of very similar charms. This is just like diet Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's a little bit stupider, a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun, but it's nothing crazy.
Our mom has said that Firestarter was not a good movie indeed in the chat.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. But yeah, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. It is fun, but it's not great.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Still something I'd go back to. I like some of the crafts in it in terms of the cameos. It's too digital for my taste.
J.K. Simmons Gumby.
Very fun.
That's my counterpoint.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I also gave it a 3 out of 5.
And up next in release order is probably the greatest movie of the decade so far. Decision to Leave.
Decision to Leave.
Yes. Decision to Leave. Park Chan-wook.
You gotta go watch Decision to Leave.
Go get yourself a movie.
The trial. Go do a trial movie.
Or just pay for movie.
So you can watch Decision to Leave, because it's fantastic and phenomenal.
This thing is, it's one of my favorite movies that I've seen in a while.
Oh, easily.
And I still hate this. I still find it so funny that both of these movies are Korean, but I still would compare it to being one of the most, like, almost like stylistically locked in with what it's doing, cinematography and
it's going for
and
it,
everything.
Man. It's doing it.
Parasite. And again, it's funny that they're both like Korean movies.
Maybe the Korean cinema landscape.
Again, Robbie was like, maybe Korean movies are the best. I'm like, we've literally only seen Korean movies from the two most critically acclaimed modern Korean directors.
But Parasite and Decision to Leave are like two of the best movies I've seen in recent years. It's so well shot, immaculately well shot, and blocked.
I love the relationship. I love the story. I love what they go for. Everything about it is fantastic and perfect, and I cannot recommend
we should do an episode on
enough. I'm going to buy it when it comes out.
Yeah,
it comes out physical on the 10th.
I'm gonna buy one too.
So yeah, go do that.
Yes.
I give it a 5 out of 5. Literally, it's cinema.
This is my number one for the year. There's some good competition,
and I put it on for the decade list too. Of my 2020s so far, I put it as number 1.
All right. Decision to Leave. Very good movie. I give it a 5 out of 5.
The next movie that released in theaters
is an insult to the media.
Was Jurassic World.
No,
Dominion.
It's not that bad, but it is bad.
I wrote actually a pretty darn lengthy review about it.
I wrote 2 sentences, Mike.
I have strong feelings for the Jurassic series.
As do I.
And
not nearly as strong as you.
I was going to say, like to an extent, I grew up on these movies, and I even am like I'm a Jurassic Park 3 defender.
I like who doesn't like Jurassic Park? Well, a lot of people don't like Jurassic Park 3.
So and I just really have a strong emotional connection to this movies. I was even willing to give Jurassic World a chance. Fallen Kingdom wasn't the greatest, but I still had some fun with it. But
yeah,
Dominion.
It broke me, Mike.
Dominion broke
Dominion
me.
broke me.
Video essay time.
It's so blah in every way. It's just nothing.
We watched the extended cut too because
Watch the extended cut.
This is the cut that the director said, I have had studio interference with the original cut. This cut is out. Watch this cut.
Watch the extended cut. So we watched the extended cut.
So again, I want to give these movies. I want to watch the best possible version of this. I was like, okay,
we watched the
turn on the
extended
extended cut. It's 20 minutes longer. That's not
that much. That's like an Always Sunny episode. What are you gonna?
So, and it's so weak.
It's weak sauce, man.
So weak. It's not even a good dinosaur movie.
Nope. I tweeted about this. You could remove all of the dinosaurs from this movie with minimal rewrites to the screenplay, which is so sad.
It could literally just be a random movie about like bioengineering locusts.
Yeah. With a bunch of cameos.
Hi Haley, you're back. But you would not have to have any dinosaurs in this movie, theoretically, and it would not be that hard. But yeah, I gave it a 2.5. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just so...
It's got Laura Dern.
Dull.
It's got Sam Neill.
It's got Jeff Goldblum. I like all three of those, but they sure have nothing to do in this movie.
They're kind of poorly written, and they're not that fun to watch, but they're there. Hi.
Hi guys.
Jurassic World Dominion is decidedly not good, and I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Very lackluster. It's nothing. It's just so...
It's one of the most nothing films I've seen in a while.
Yeah, not good. And then next on the roster is my boy Baz Luhrmann's latest film, Elvis.
Which Haley...
Very, very good.
Haley, I'm looking at you. I still want to watch this with you. I want to get you to watch this. I know you're not an Elvis fan, but I'm not an Elvis fan. I don't like Elvis music that much.
I think people who don't enjoy Elvis's music would actually enjoy this movie.
This is a good movie for people who don't like Elvis.
Yeah.
And hey, it even has an original Doja Cat song.
It does have
It's actually really good.
The Doja Cat needle drop in Elvis is actually pretty good.
What can I say? It's Elvis.
Baz Luhrmann is an absolute madman.
This is definitely the best Baz Luhrmann film I've seen. This is only the second Baz Luhrmann film I've seen.
Oh yeah, man.
Austin Butler is giving an insane performance. I love him in this movie.
The editing and the cinematography.
I never understood why people were like, "Oh, Elvis, what he does is hot. He's so hot on stage," and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" But this movie,
Mike is like, "I get it now.
I get it." But you know, it's Tom Cruise. I mean, not Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks. It'd be funny if it was Tom Hanks is being goofy in this. He's like, yes, the drugs.
Yeah, Elvis, sprawling, messy,
surprisingly emotional.
I kind of tear up thinking about it.
It really got me into Elvis, which is crazy because this is a goofy little messy long movie.
He's just a southern boy, Mike.
He's just a southern boy with a song on his heart.
But yeah, Elvis, one of the best of the year. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5.
I give it a 5. Honestly, like it's there, man.
He's just tossing these out. Like I said, he's like, oh,
hand him out.
You know what? I think I'm gonna give Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers a 5.
Okay.
I think it was doing unique things.
I think you could probably kick me off the podcast if I give Chip and Dale a 5. That is not a great movie.
Okay, what came out next?
Next up, we got Bob's Burgers, the Bob's Burgers movie.
Bob's Burgers movie,
which is kind of hard to say.
Bob's Burgers.
The
movie.
Bob's Burgers.
The Bob's Burgers movie.
See?
Yeah, I can see it.
But it's about this guy named Bob, and he makes burgers. And that's the movie.
He's at the restaurant Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
And then there's a sinkhole, and there's a carnival.
Yeah. And you know,
it's fun. I don't know.
It's got H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, I love.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
It's not the best thing in the world.
Okay, disclaimer: I haven't seen a single episode of Bob's Burgers in my life.
I've seen a couple episodes here and there, and it's a good show.
But this was fun.
But this was I don't know. There's nothing too crazy special about this. It's one of those movies. It's kind of like the regular show movie in terms of it just feels like a long episode. It doesn't feel like a movie. It just feels like a long episode of the show.
It's a pretty fun episode.
Has its charms.
Yeah.
I really like the vocal cast. I like the animation. I like the songs when they do them. I love how it's like half a musical, but then they kind of forget. Um,
I don't know. I didn't love the songs, all of it.
I liked a couple of the songs.
Haley is insisting that I watch Bob's Burgers. It's in my watch list. I swear it is.
Robbie's too busy binge watching all 20 million seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm on season 12 of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I'm living life. I'm having a great time.
I give it a 3.5 though.
I gave it a 4. I thought it was great, pretty great. And then next up on my roster is Vengeance.
BJ Novak's Vengeance.
Vengeance. BJ Novak's film Vengeance.
You know, that guy from The Office.
It's the guy from The Office, yeah. Well, I mean, he created The Office, right?
The
American
Did he
version.
create it?
I'm pretty sure he's like one of the main producers. I'm sure he's an executive producer. But BJ Novak, he made a movie. It's called Vengeance, and it's the perfect movie if you like NPR stuff.
Right.
I'm hoping Tar and this will make like the perfect 2022 NPR double feature.
And in case you don't know this, Haley, and anyone else, it's this guy from The Office.
Yeah, if you can see the video, it's BJ Novak. I mean, it's BJ Novak. It's Ben from The Office. Yeah. But it's good.
I don't think that was his name. Is that his name?
It's Ben. Yeah, that's his name in The Office, right?
I don't think so.
Is it?
That doesn't sound right.
Is that wrong?
But
I haven't seen The Office in a long time.
It's Ryan. See,
Ryan. Oh shoot.
Ben is from Parks and Rec, Robbie.
I can't keep up with all these newfangled comedies. What are the kids watching these days?
Right.
But, okay, Vengeance. I don't know. I said in my review, replace Ben and that's why I thought his name was Ben. His name is Ben in Vengeance. Or maybe no. I guess I'm just saying that's his name.
His name is Ben.
Okay, that's why I said replace Ben with Brian Griffin, and you have the greatest Family Guy two-parter in history. Is what I'm saying.
That would be true. Vengeance is interesting. It's well shot. It has some cool ideas.
It's got some good monologues.
It's just not quite there in any sense. Like, it's a cool directorial debut. Props to BJ Novak.
Yes.
This is fun.
It's good. It's great.
It's just never quite there on anything.
It doesn't pack as much of a punch as I want. It's a little self-serious. But like I guess that kind of comes with the material that they're touching on.
Well, it's self-serious to the point where they kind of killed their own like punchiness of their message. Yeah. It takes itself too seriously, so the big finale doesn't really like it. It
doesn't hit the way I want it.
It just feels like that's exactly what you would think from something this self-serious.
But Vengeance, cool movie. I liked it a lot.
I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5. Solid. Quick shout out to Patrick Willems' film that he put out this year, Night of the Coconut. Great film. You should go watch it on Nebula if you want to.
Use my Nebula.
use my Nebula. That's the dream right there.
Gotta get the Nebula deal, Robbie.
Exactly. But it's about a coconut and Patrick Willems.
It's a very long stretching thing from all of Patrick Willems' videos has a coconut.
It's a great little movie. I'm honestly really surprised it's as good as it is. But like Night of the Coconut. It's a great movie. Go watch it. Also, quick mention, I watched another Isaac Rodriguez film this year. It's called A Town Full of Ghosts. It is the worst thing I've seen from him, and it's still not all that bad. Just boring. It's his most boring that I've seen, which is a shame because half of the enjoyment I get out of his films is how like wild they are. So yeah.
He needs to have a good gimmick.
Yeah, no, this one, it's set in like a ghost town with like a person trying to do a startup for like a theme park or something. It's weird, and it doesn't really come together at all. It's like his weakest film.
But up next,
I give it a 3 out of 5.
Up next, we have Minions: The Rise of Gru, which compared to Minions, is miles better.
Compared to Minions,
this is so much better than Minions.
This is like Citizen Kane.
This is Citizen Kane compared to Minions, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know about bad. Bad's too harsh, but it's not good.
it's so incredibly plain.
It's plain. It's very vanilla.
Everything about it is vanilla. Everything about the plot that they go with is plain, feels done before, feels cliched. It's like the Minions aren't even that bad. And the Minions are the worst things in the world. I want to personally murder them. And the Minions they're fun. Like, I don't know. Like it's not that bad. but it's just so I will not like. There's nothing about it that would make you want to watch it again.
Put that on the blurb for the review. It's not that bad. Minions: The Rise of Gru.
It's so empty and soul sucking, unfortunately.
Although, okay, quick shout out to Wise Blood, one of my favorite musicians. She has an original song in this, and it's actually pretty good. But yeah,
I give
it's
it a
whatever.
2 out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty good, actually.
Wow.
That's what you just
That's
said.
what I said. I said it's
That's
pretty
what
good.
you said. It's pretty good, actually.
I'm just receiving word from my mom in chat that our sister apparently didn't even finish the movie.
She fell asleep. We were watching this together in the car on a road trip.
Dude, I forgot she was watching it with us.
She fell asleep.
That's wild. I mean, understandable.
This just in, breaking news from my mom in the chat.
But yeah, no, it was something. It was a movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of another movie, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Unfortunately, no singing crawdads.
No singing crawdads, which, you know, after watching...
Which is why I didn't watch it.
After watching The House, I was, like, all amped up. I was like, oh, tiny little creatures and critters singing musical numbers. That sounds great. And then it was, like, a very, very serious movie. And it got me a lot more emotionally invested than I thought it would. But I'm still a little upset that I didn't get singing crawdads.
But Jimmy, I want to stay
Jimmy,
in the mosh. I want to stay in the mosh with the crowd.
With the crowd. I don't think you know what the movie's about.
And then she like pushes Jimmy off of a tower or something. I don't know.
Supposedly the book is a lot better. But like, I don't know, it just kind of, it's very amateurish and kind of blah. Daisy Edgar Jones, she's good in this. She was good in Fresh too.
Is it a first time?
Yeah. Olivia Newman, she had directed another film before, I think. Yeah, First Match, which is a feature. And I haven't seen it, but you can tell this is from a rather unexperienced director. But yeah, Where the Crawdads Sing. It's fine. Writing out pretty good.
All of our comments are pretty funny.
The comments are... We are getting requests to not do the accent again for Where the Crawdads
and Haley says it's a Where the Crawdads Sing, not the Crawdads Sing.
I know, but I wanted to see the Crawdads singing. That's the whole appeal.
That's the appeal of the Crawdads singing.
But yeah, I don't know.
Why would you show me something I can't have?
But yeah, moving on. We have another film. It's called Nope.
We've got to go see it at theaters.
We got to watch it in a theater.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Because it's the second best movie of this year.
Probably.
And it's directed by Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. That was our first Jordan Peele movie in theaters. We didn't get to catch the other two in theaters.
I thought we didn't watch Get Out until after this.
Yeah, we didn't. I'm saying we didn't get to catch the other two in theaters.
Okay,
So we
I
did
thought
not
you meant
watch
like
the other two in theaters.
Okay.
But yeah, this was so good. This is one of the best movies of the year.
So good.
The kind of, it's really not that hard to read. I find it interesting that people are like, what does Nope mean? I think it's pretty clear
it's so
on what it means.
People are like, I don't know.
People are like, the monkey stuff meant nothing. And
no,
you're wrong.
That's the worst thing.
Jupe is amazing in this.
Dude.
Steven Yeun. Daniel Kaluuya. Kiki Palmer.
Those are that's like the best leading cast maybe of the year. They're so good.
Brandon Pera.
He's so good.
Everybody's good in this.
They're good.
The cinematography is gorgeous. The plot is great.
The
climax is so much fun. It's just such a fun movie. It's creepy. It's fun. It's cool. Steven Yeun as a cowboy.
Haley has described Nope as eerie in the chat.
Which
is a good
as a cowboy called Jupe.
Jupe.
The Star Lasso experience.
Micah, he owns a theme park.
He has a custom-made jacket with a UFO on it.
It's so cool. Okay, if you don't know anything about Nope, go watch it. And then
one of the best movies of the year, for sure.
You won't regret it, I hope.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
I give it a 5 out of 5. It's so good. I honestly, I think I marginally prefer it to Get Out, but it's very, very close. That's very close.
That's so tough. I think Get Out has a more accessible screenplay for sure.
It does. Yeah, it is.
Up next, Robbie.
Up next, I got Glorious, a little indie.
Little ditty.
Haley has asked you to stop thirsting over Steven Yeun, Micah, in the chat.
No.
But it's called Glorious. It's directed by Rebecca McKendry, and it was a lot of fun. It's got J.K. Simmons as a space god, like
space god J.K. Simmons.
kind of like a Lovecraft sort of thing. I don't remember if it is based on a Lovecraft story or not.
That name does not sound like like that name is not a Lovecraft story to my knowledge.
His name is Gat in the movie. I don't know if that's one of the like space god people in Lovecraft or not. But it was a lot of fun. It was a really good movie. J.K. Simmons was great. I really liked Ryan Quanten, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's a lot of fun. And like it's like another one location movie, and it used it surprisingly well. I don't know. It was a good time. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
and I gave it a 4 out of 5.
That's what I thought. That is one of the Lovecraft gods.
Is it Gat?
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. It's a Lovecraft story.
But it's not actually a Lovecraft plot. They just use one of the Lovecraft gods.
Yeah, because like in the movie, he like Gat is trapped inside of a bathroom stall for the whole movie. You never see him. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I swear. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Up next was the Apple TV Plus original animated movie by very, very sore loser and not great person John Lasseter. But directed by Peggy Holmes. So, yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Fine, yeah. I think Simon Pegg's kind of out of place.
Yeah.
I don't think he gives that good of a performance here. The world building's not that fun. The plot's... It's fine.
It's whatever.
It's a fine movie.
It's like the worst Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I've seen.
I put it's like Inside Out, but worse.
But worse, yeah. I said it's a bit of a snooze, but it's not without its charms, Micah.
Yeah.
Its charms.
I don't think it has very many charms.
Like Lucky Charms.
Yeah, I get it. But I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
I mastered media criticism. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Then up next on the old release slate was Prey.
Prey.
A prequel to the Predator movies.
Which
we have never seen a Predator
Never seen
movie.
Predator.
Not a single one. But this looked cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
And it's really lame that it's in English, I have to say.
We should have watched the dub. I'm convinced now.
We should have watched the dub. It should have just been in Comanche.
It should have just been in Comanche.
That would have been very cool. I don't like dubs, so that's why we didn't watch the Comanche dub. But it should have just been in Comanche.
You know, I hear from people who watch the dub that the dub is better. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll revisit it.
Cool story.
It was great.
I really like Amber Midthunder's performance. She's really, really fun.
She is really good in this.
And like she's
kind of carrying the whole movie.
She's just such an engaging lead to watch.
Right.
The action's fun.
The action is really well staged.
The Predator is really goofy to be in this location. Like just seeing the Predator in like
old America,
1776 America is really weird. Technically previous, it's 1719. I was about to say because America is not founded yet.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Prey. Good movie.
I give
Great
it a 4
movie.
out of 5.
I also gave it a 4 out of 5. Haley has informed us in the chat that Rob thought it was pretty good.
Rob thought it was pretty good. It gets the Rob seal of
quote,
approval.
Quote, really good.
Oh, quote, really good.
Okay.
Up next, what do you have, Robbie?
I have a little Netflix film called Day Shift. It's got Snoop Dogg. It's got Jamie Foxx. And
I do like one of those
they're
people
both good
as actors.
They're both good in this movie, and it is a vampire movie, and it's fine. It's occasionally funny.
Does Snoop Dogg actually give a good performance?
Yeah, he's actually good in this, which is so strange. Hold on, where did I say? I said he quote rocks in this movie.
I was about to say like.
I complained. My main complaint was that it was a little generic and vanilla, which seems to be my complaint about a lot of movies from this past year that I don't think are very good. They just have no voice behind them.
I mean, yeah, there is a specific reason that they're in that time frame, Haley. I'm just saying, like, it's a weird setting to see the Predator.
It's not that like the story doesn't make sense in Prey. We're saying that
it's
like
goofy.
It's kind of hilarious. It's a funny image to see the Predator in that setting. But yeah. Day Shift, I thought it was pretty good, but not great. I gave it a 3 out of 5. And then I watched another indie film. I keep watching a bunch of indie films, which is good.
You watch so many indie films.
It's good. I watched something called The Immaculate Room with Emil Hirsch in it. I wanted to watch more of his work. And it was pretty good. It was a little boring, a little generic, doesn't really develop its ideas fully. Same old, whatever. 3 out of 5. apparently Rob is now explaining Predator lore.
I'm sure Rob is a big Predator fan, and now he's explaining Predator lore.
I know it's a different kind of predator
species.
Yeah, it's a different species than the one in Predator, but I haven't seen Predator yet, so
I thought it was the same one as the. I don't know. I don't keep track of the different Predator species.
The different subspecies of Predator.
Up next in release order is The Invitation.
The Invitation.
The boring fanfic movie.
Womp womp. Yeah, that's not a bad way to describe it. It's like if you put Ready or Not, Dracula, and like a weird fanfic in a blender.
I hate that it's Dracula relationship.
I hate that it's a Dracula story. It should not be.
It's a scourge on Dracula.
It's an insult to his name.
A literary classic, and instead we have The Invitation, which is just, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just
not the worst.
Its writing is so fanficky, and it's so,
which isn't that doesn't mean it's not like, it's not bad because it is fanficky. It's bad and it's fanficky, so it's just kind of,
there's good
even
fanfic,
worse. There is good fanfic.
Not good.
This is not it.
So it's weird,
filled with cliches and like bad structure and just bad dialogue.
The only interesting thing, I liked the brides of Dracula. They were kind of fun. They could have been entertaining if you would let them do anything.
To be fair, I think it was pretty cut down.
Yeah.
We watched the theatrical cut of it.
It was originally
R. PG-13. Yeah, it was originally rated R.
And you can tell.
It's
actually funny because where we watched this on, like, this must have been cut down pretty close to release because they had the full subtitles.
They had the full subtitles with like all the profanity
with all the language in it.
Which is
so we'd
weird.
be watching, and a character either just wouldn't say that, or like they would
rephrase it or dub it or
like
something,
a different phrase or something, and like the F word would just come up in the
so
subtitles.
Weird.
And
it was
like,
just
why not just make it R?
Like, why not? Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't have much of an audience for this anyway, so
it's kind of a bad movie. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
I also gave it a 2
not
out of
great.
5. We're hitting our 2-hour point.
I know, we only got a little bit to go. We're almost there.
We're like 2/3 of the way there.
Yes, we're so close. I swear. We watched a little film after that called Barbarian. You might have heard of it.
Indie horror.
Another independent horror movie.
Very cool.
Very cool. Is it independent? I guess so.
I don't think it's is it independent?
I don't think it's
from
like
a big studio.
I don't
it's
know.
From a small director at any rate.
Yes.
I don't know. Letterboxd isn't loading right now. I think they might be going down again,
yeah.
which is unfortunate because we're using
bad timing
for our thing. But yes, we watched Barbarian.
Yes,
and it's very, very fun. It's goofy. It's exciting.
It's wild,
shot
man.
really fun.
Yeah, I love the cinematography. The camera work is really fun.
It's pretty gross.
I like the structure a lot and the character writing
cool,
too.
But it's not my favorite thing in the world. I don't like the plot itself that much. And there are weird elements here and there. So it's not like the best thing in the world, and it's not even my favorite horror from this year, but it really is just it's a fun time.
It's so much fun.
It's so enjoyable. Even if I don't watch it again, like, it's fun to watch
fond
once.
Memory, yeah. Barbarian. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. In release order up next, we have White Noise.
White Noise.
Noah Baumbach, my first Noah Baumbach film.
Yes.
I need to watch more of his.
I'm a fan of his writing, and now I've seen his directing, and it's pretty good.
We got Adam Driver. We've got Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig in the cast.
Okay, hot take. I only watched this a couple days ago, but I think Greta Gerwig's the weakest performer here. I hate to say it, but maybe you should have cast someone else.
I like her performance.
It's
his wife.
She's fine, but like, I don't know.
It's his wife, Robbie.
It just...
She's not gonna not cast Greta Gerwig.
I know. I mean, if I was married to Greta Gerwig, I would put her in my movies. But
supposedly she's really great at Frances Ha too.
I know, but she's just the weakest one here. I think.
I thought her performance was really good. She was one of my favorite elements of the movie.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe
I really like.
I told you it's a hot take.
But it's a weird movie. It's very
strange.
enjoyable.
It's strange.
But its elements are very odd. It takes its dialogue is very very. You can tell he's worked on a lot of Wes Anderson pictures.
I loved it. I loved the dialogue. I thought it was great.
It swings for the fences on a lot of its stuff, but also does not spend time on a lot of its stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So it's weirdly
weird
paced.
movie.
Its themes are chopped up weird, but it's still really fun. It's funny. I laughed throughout. And it's really creative.
White noise quote. I laughed throughout. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I'm interested to read the book now. Like, I don't know why. I just have this weird urge to read the book. I don't usually get that after I watch like adaptations, but yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Haley has said this podcast is just 3 hours worth of Micah gaslighting Robbie.
Wait, what did I gaslight you with?
I don't know. I probably the Greta
Greta
Gerwig.
Gerwig. Yeah, I like her performance, and you don't. No, see, that's just a difference in opinion.
That's funny.
But up next in release order, we have the Banshees of Inisherin.
Maybe the third best movie of this year. Maybe the second best. Maybe
the third best. Third best.
Maybe
fourth best. Maybe.
Banshees of
right
Inisherin.
Up in there. It's right. It's top 5. No doubt. Banshees of Inisherin. I forget the director's name. Ravi. Tell me the
Martin
director's
McDowell,
name.
I believe. Or McDonough.
He's Irish.
McDonough. I don't know how to
He's got an
pronounce
Irish
his name. I'm so sorry.
But we got Colin Farrell. We've got
Colin Farrell.
We've got Brendan Gleeson.
We
got Barry Keoghan.
Yeah,
we got all the Irish actors.
All the Irish actors are here, and I probably wouldn't have understood a third of this dialogue without the subtitles because I'm uncultured.
Yeah, Robbie, it's partially your roots. You're part Irish somewhere in there.
My ancestral family home.
Exactly. But this thing is great. I loved this movie.
It's so good.
It's surprisingly enjoyable and like funny and goofy, but also really like tragic.
It's so funny,
and
but it's also very sad.
And it's this really neat tonal blend of just like goofy people doing goofy things and like really sad.
It's really well paced, which I did not expect.
It's incredibly well paced. I can't believe they took, again, somebody was talking about how much of a feat it is to write a story where the entire 2-hour movie plot is just one guy does not want one guy to talk to him.
Right.
That's the plot.
But yeah, Banshees of Inisherin. If you haven't seen it, it's a gorgeous film. It's really well acted and
huge recommend.
Yeah, big recommendation. Scottish.
Well, we have
been told in the chat that it's
our family is more Scottish. Like,
okay,
we're very like we have more Scottish, but you guys said the other day that we have some Irish somewhere in there on one side.
I'm
or
like,
another.
I could have sworn Banshees of Inisherin was an Irish.
Banshees of Inisherin is very Irish. We are more Scottish,
but we are
Irish,
Scottish, yes.
But I'm pretty sure we got some Irish mixed in there too. But yes, Banshees of Inisherin.
Fantastic, phenomenal.
So good. I've been nonstop thinking about it if it wasn't for the fact that I've been nonstop thinking about a lot of movies lately because there's a lot of fantastic
There's so many good
movies.
movies this year. Speaking of not good movies, though.
Up next, we have Don't Worry, Darling, the greatest movie trailer of all time.
I don't know about that.
Sure would love to catch the movie.
Right, I want to see the movie that was in the trailer, please. Can I have that one? I would watch the trailer for like the amount of time this movie goes on. I would just watch the trailer on a loop for that long rather than watching this movie again.
Because
it's not good.
Everything good in the trailer is all of the good stuff.
That's all the good stuff.
Entire movie.
They put all of the good stuff in the trailer, and there's nothing else. All of the other scenes are jokes. They're deleted scenes.
You've heard it. You've heard about it.
It's bad.
You've heard about it.
It's not good.
Harry Styles' performance terrible.
It's Florence... not, it's not as bad as I expected it to be, but it's definitely not great.
Okay, Robbie. Anytime he's doing any of the the conflict scenes, he's like, "But Florence, you've got to understand. I did this for us."
He's just okay. It's a weak performance, and it's a terribly written character.
That's true.
It's like the worst combo.
Reddit Discord Harry Styles. That's the only plus of this entire movie is that we have like grimy Reddit Harry Styles. That was kind of funny.
It's bad.
Florence Pugh's performance is actually really good, and it seems to have good ideas, but yet literally does not do anything.
Micah, there is a movie starring Chris Pine and Florence Pugh, and they have like 2 scenes together.
Right? And they're giving the 2 best performances.
The 2 best
we could go on
performances.
about this movie for a long time. It's got a lot of problems.
It doesn't. It's so bad. It like the logic of this movie makes my brain hurt. It's bad. It's just not good.
Rough.
Micah, this is coming from 2 white guys with a podcast. We're saying, "Don't worry, darling" is bad.
Oh no, we're the demographic.
We are the problem.
We are the
Micah.
problem. Don't
Can't
worry,
you see?
darling. Told me so.
But yeah.
Mine went. I accidentally clicked back.
No, Micah.
I don't have my list of the films
Micah's
that
got
I
no
didn't
films
watch
now.
with you. I'm gonna try doing it not in the app. See if that helps.
The next film I have up is See How They Run, which we went and saw in the theater. It's Diet Wes Anderson.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's Diet Wes Anderson.
It has Wes Anderson's influences clearly on this director.
Yes, it's like Diet off-brand Wes Anderson.
But clearly, the director's trying to do their own thing. They
have their own voice.
They've been clearly inspired by the work of Wes Anderson.
Tom George, you made a pretty good movie. A pretty great movie, I would argue.
Nothing's loading on my phone.
It's got Saoirse Ronan. It's got Sam Rockwell. It's got Adrian Brody.
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan, honestly, the highlight of this
She
film.
is definitely that. She's really funny in this. It really kind of
some of the best comedic acting.
It really kind of bothers me, given stuff like Grand Budapest and everything. Like in these movies where she doesn't get cast in comedies too often.
Yeah.
But then she gets put in these comedies and given like 2 seconds. She's not in Grand Budapest hardly at all. And again, See How They Run shows you. And even in those movies, she gives such a good performance. She's such a good comedic actress.
I mean, she's good in this movie. She gets a fair amount of screen time. She's the main character.
I'm just saying, like, she's such a good comedic actress. It bothers me that really most comedies I've ever seen her in.
Put Saoirse in more comedies. That's what I say.
But no, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's a little sloppy here.
It's a little sloppy, a little shaky, little over. I don't know. I don't know what word I was going for. Like overblown, over self-serious. Self-serious isn't the right word, but it's something.
Yeah.
I think it's like has these delusions of grandeur.
And I really honestly don't appreciate some of its messaging in the end. It does this really weird thing that I'm not a fan of. And see, I did miss something. I thought I did. But I gave See How They Run a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
But I missed something because technically something came out before that. The Woman King. Which I saw in theaters.
I haven't seen
Haley.
I haven't seen it. I'm sad.
It was pretty good. It was not like the greatest thing in the world, but it was nice to see just like one of those like action
like a solid action movie.
Yeah, like just a solid.
That is nice.
It wasn't connected to anything. It was just solid. It had great performances. It had some pretty solid action. The plot's a little weird, but I don't know. Like it's good. Like there's not much to say about it.
I do want to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
I watched another Apple TV Plus original movie, and also I think it's another A24 movie. It's called Causeway. It's got
that is it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is it A24 is what I'm saying?
I think so. But it's got Jennifer Lawrence in it.
Jennifer Lawrence.
This is my favorite performance I've seen from her. It's got a really, really nice like style and atmosphere. It's a very minimal movie. It's very slowly paced, but it's very nice. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I'm off the deep end here. But like I just thought it was really sweet and really fun.
Where he's like The Northman, 4 stars. Causeway. You guessed it. 5 stars.
But Brian Tyree Henry is really great in this too. He's been in a couple other things. This is way better than his role in Eternals for sure. But yeah, it's good. I liked it a lot, and I gave it a 5 out of 5.
That's amazing. That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful film.
Can you mute the microphone again for a second?
Yeah. Didn't expect this to be a multiple time thing. Hey, we're back.
Yes. So what came out next, Ruby?
Next up, we have the new Steven Spielberg film. We keep getting one. Keep getting new
Stevie
ones.
Wonder.
And he's probably the greatest living director. Maybe not. It's questionable. It's arguable.
It's up in the air.
But it's his newest film. It's called The Fabelmans.
Fabelmans.
It is kind of autobiographical, a little bit.
Yeah, like loosely based on the story of his childhood. And it's very good. It's very good.
I honestly, I don't know if I had to pick between Decision to Leave or The Fabelmans for my favorite of the year. I don't know which I'd pick.
No, Decision to Leave is clearly tops this, but The Fabelmans really is kind of like a marvel, and like really,
it's phenomenal.
It really is just a love letter to, stupidly enough, Spielberg's career, which is weird coming from Spielberg. But like
he's earned it, man.
I genuinely think like this is a really sweet way to kind of recontextualize his career, kind of examine the stuff that led him down the way he did. But I put it in my review kind of how it kind of takes like something talking about how he feels about cinema and his like childlike wonder he's always kept with his movies, and yet how much like trauma and past stuff he keeps with his movies, how art tears family apart, and yet how his family influenced so much of what he did in his career. Like it's kind of a movie like showing that pretty much always is like split up into these two different things,
and it's so good. I don't know. I really love like the character writing in this. Obviously, I think it's probably good because it's based so obviously on like real people.
Well, beyond that, it's hard to make something based on real people good, and it's hard to give good performances coming from that.
The characters in this are very compelling, which I was not expecting.
If I had the cast list able to pull up, I would tell you the name of the guy who plays Sam. But he gives a fantastic performance.
Sammy Fabelman, Micah.
Sammy Fabelman.
Perhaps the greatest protagonist of our age.
I saw in praise of this movie somebody talking about how the fact that this movie does not be like, here, you're playing Steven Spielberg, play Spielberg, be Spielberg. It very much, like, you get engaged and you like the character of Sammy before it even ties anything to Spielberg.
But it's Gabriel LaBelle.
LaBelle.
Yes, he's phenomenal.
He's really, really good. And we also got like Michelle Williams, which does a good job. Paul Dano, and like the only movie he doesn't get beat up in.
He gets emotionally shredded,
beat up.
Micah.
So maybe that. But it's just a really cool movie. Very emotional. Rightfully goofy and kind of like over the top and self-serious, but in a way that's kind of self-aware about itself. And again, I think very much playing into the themes of how, Spielberg saw movies growing up.
I will say, Janusz Kaminski, I believe is how you pronounce his name, the cinematographer who also worked on West Side Story. He's kind of brilliant for real, because this is one of the best shot movies of the year, and like Nope is here, and Decision to Leave is here too, so that's saying something. But yeah, it's a magical movie. It really is.
Indeed.
And I love it. I'm glad I kicked off 2023 watching that. It's good.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
I also give it a 5 out of 5.
If you can believe it.
Yeah.
Up next in release order, we have Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
What?
Which is stupid that it's called a Knives Out mystery. Ryan Johnson also thought it was stupid that it was called a Knives Out mystery.
It should have just been called Glass Onion.
No, it was gonna be a Benoit, like a Blanc mystery or something.
He wanted a subtitle.
He wanted that, like, for them to be like a Benoit Blanc mystery or something.
I kind of want a Bond thing going on where it's just like the title of the movie instead of the.
But Netflix. Oh no, Haley found the stickers.
Haley found the chat stickers. Oh no.
But no, Netflix wanted it to be Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
So that when people search for Knives Out, it comes up.
Yes. Thank you, Netflix, for cutting this out of theaters so fast when it could have been like your biggest moneymaker in years. Good job. You're making smart decisions.
I didn't go to business school. What do I know? Glass Onion.
Theaters were begging to keep Glass Onion in longer. It's crazy.
Glass Onion is a very good movie.
Very good movie. We got to see it in theaters, which I was excited about. We actually went and saw it with Haley. That was cool. But it somehow stands with the giant of Knives Out next to it. And
one of the best movies of the 2010s.
Pretty much, in my opinion, not as good, but pretty much as good of a job just as a movie. It's crazy. I actually
it's a little worse.
I rewatched it the other night actually. In 2 parts. I haven't logged it yet, but I felt like when I was sick, I watched it and then fell asleep and then finished it. But like it really does pull off what it does really well. Yeah. Somehow it's cultural stuff like Knives Out. Actually, honestly, a little bit better than Knives Out because Knives Out's cultural like references and stuff stick out a little bit more than this, and yet somehow this like breezes through, like very terminally online stuff.
Yeah.
And makes it not the most cringe thing you've ever seen.
Micah, it's the written by someone with a Twitter account movie.
Exactly. Ryan Johnson's a little too active on Twitter.
He's too active on Twitter. Take it away. Take it away from him.
But it really is funny, and I think the mystery is cool. It's not as good as Knives Out, but it's genuinely doing a really good job. It looks phenomenal. Good. The cast is great.
If this dropped out of the blue, no Knives Out, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I need more Knives Out.
Right?
You know?
You need more Glass Onion, Robbie.
Well, but it's a Knives Out mystery, Mike.
Well, it wouldn't have that if there was no Knives Out.
But yeah, it's great. I loved it. It's so much fun. I give it a 5 out of 5.
I give it a 5.
It's it's on the weaker end, but it's there, I think.
Then up next, Wendell and Wild, which we did an episode on.
No,
I thought we did. What is up with this?
I swear I don't know what you're doing over here, dude. I don't think we did a Wendell and Wild episode.
We didn't. What?
We were doing the Scream franchise.
I just must be thinking of all the times we've talked about it because we've been doing so many What We Watched episodes.
Yeah, but it's good. It's solid. It's not the strongest from Henry Selick. I'm a sucker for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Not the strongest from Henry Selick. Not the strongest from Jordan Peele, who is on the screenplay. I like Jordan Peele as a co-writer. He's done a lot of like the newer Candyman. He was a co-writer on. Which,
I liked Candyman. That was fun.
But this was just like messy, a little all over the place.
Yeah.
Which Henry Selick has a tendency to do. Henry Selick is not.
Yeah, he's made some classics, man. But
he's made some classics, but he's not.
His movies tend to get a little messy if they're not very focused. And this one it's touching on a lot, which I appreciate what it's touching on, and I think it does a good job of doing it. But it's just very scattered.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place and doesn't really allow much development for its characters and much of an emotional core for the movie itself. But still fun. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Haley has claimed that Jordan Peele is the GOAT in the chat, so. But she used one of the stickers, so.
Yeah, because she has the stickers. Mostly it's just been cat in box. Cat in box. Cat in another box.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was great. But not like, whoa, you know. Whoa. I want to give a quick shout out to
quick
shout out to Kate Berlant's special Cinnamon in the Wind. It's very good. And if you like comedy specials or Kate Berlant, go watch it. I give it a 4 out of 5.
She's in Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling is an insult to Cinnamon in the Wind. Cinnamon in the Wind isn't even a movie. And it's better. It's so much better.
Then what, Robbie? Then what?
Then I did a whole Shudder trial thing. A lot of these independent horror movies I watched on Shudder, but I got to see the new VHS entry in the VHS franchise. It's called VHS 99. It's a horror anthology film, and it's fun. It was good. It was the only VHS film I've seen up to this point. So
Haley is now depicting the plot of Nope via stickers. We have a monkey with a hammer. I don't know if that's actually a little loading thing or if that's like
maybe
the sticker. A guy trying not to look, and then like a really scared guy being like, "Oh." This is Haley's description of Nope.
Okay. Favorite segments from 94 or 99 were Ozzy's Dungeon and Suicide Bid, which were both good.
I wonder which ones the directors of Barbarian did.
I don't remember. I feel like Suicide Bid might have been one of theirs, but don't quote me on that. All right. Well, what did we watch after that, Micah?
After that, you have a blank screen. Oh, we have Smile.
Smile. That's why I threw it to you.
We went and watched it. I just didn't know if that was the next one. Smile, we went and watched it in theaters. Just me and Robbie.
It was fun.
It was very fun. Like it was probably one of the most fun experiences I've had with a horror movie
Right.
in theaters.
It was very tense.
It's
I liked
just,
it.
It's goofy. It's stupid. Its plot's paper thin.
Its plot is kind of dumb.
Its plot's so dumb, but it's a
like,
really fun
it's
movie
fun.
with like some goofy horror and like a really fun creature design. I wish they would have used it more.
It's a different kind of fun than Barbarian. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would compare them because
Barbarian-
they're about the
Barbarian
same
and
quality.
Smile,
I think
Barbarian and Smile are on similar quality
Barbarian's
levels.
a bit better.
I mean, I also
Yeah.
agree Barbarian's a little bit better, but they're very different in their like goofy horror-ness.
Yeah, Smile, great movie.
Barbarian's like, oh, and Smile's like, gee.
Yeah, Smile is it's a little intense. I will say, I was happy. I was pleasantly surprised. It was kind of a bodies situation where I was like, this could be like really terrible, given it's like kind of weak, like whatever premise, but it was fun.
And I mean, it's a horror movie mostly built on jump scares, which can make it kind of weak.
I don't know. It's got a real sinister energy going.
but it's got a lot of really great like atmosphere going throughout, where you're genuinely like on edge for most of the movie, even though it's mostly jump scares. But just like with the way they use their premise, it works pretty well. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5. It was
Wow,
pretty great.
That's crazy.
I like Micah said. I just that extra little bit is probably just for the little monster at the end.
Oh, I wish they used that more.
That's
so
so cool. It's so cool.
I need more cool horror things.
Just be cool.
More
Literally,
horror
just make
monsters.
cool monsters and put them into a movie, and I will go watch it.
2 things I want from horror: either a really cool slasher, i.e., Scream, or a really cool monster. That's it.
Like the Babadook.
The Babadook isn't even that good.
The Babadook is so great. Haley is praising the car window scene from Smile, which is a great scene. I love that scene.
I will see Haley, and I wasn't even that scared during that scene though, because like that's in the trailer, so I had seen that jump scare like
that jump
9
scare.
times.
That is the scariest part of that.
But
trailer.
I love the way the neck like actually like
it
bends
swivels,
around.
like it like breaks off and like pendulums
Because I was
down.
about to say, because I thought
great.
it was supposed to be like somebody's neck like breaking off and swinging down, but if you look, the neck actually like extends around.
It extends and then
wraps
falls,
around
like it
and
pendulum
falls.
falls down. It's so great.
so cool. I love that.
That jump scare is so good. All right. I guess next up is Werewolf by Night. It's one of the Marvel one-shot things or whatever. Marvel Disney Plus presents.
Which is interesting
Marvel
because they
one-shot.
really are trying to make you not think like they put Marvel nowhere on this, no Disney anywhere on it. Like they were like, this is our one that's gonna be not Marvel. This was their experiment on that whole different genres all under the umbrella of the MCU for some reason. And it's not that great.
It's directed by Michael Giacchino. He's one of my favorite people working in film today.
In terms of music.
I watched I watched the documentary for this, and it was really sweet. I would actually recommend the documentary about the making of Werewolf by Night over Werewolf by Night, which is a little sad, but the documentary is really sweet. But Werewolf by Night has its problems. I feel like we talked about it for a pretty substantial amount on that What We Watched episode.
It's just like
it's half-baked.
It's just aesthetic stuff thrown on top. It's like the most bland monster thing you've ever seen. That's not even like a monster movie, where they slapped black and white and a analog filter over it to make it kind of look like an old movie, and they're like, ooh, Werewolf by Night, we're doing something crazy here. It has no aesthetic, no story, nothing about this has anything to do with classic monster movies.
Yeah. Which is a shame. I had high hopes,
and it's just kind of it's okay. It's got a pretty bad tone problem too. But anyway, I give it a 3 out of 5.
Moving on to a much better, campier.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 3 out of 5. Much better, campier movie, The Monsters.
The Monsters,
which
we did
do an
episode on. I swear. I swear.
I'm gonna be like, no, we didn't. Just delete it from everything.
We did an episode on this, guys.
The Monsters. I thought it was great. I loved it. It's really funny and fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the cast. I like the production. It was a crazy Rob Zombie movie, especially coming from Rob Zombie. I give it a 4 out of 5.
I also give it a 4 out of 5. Then I watched Hocus Pocus 2. It was better than Hocus Pocus, which I did not like at all.
I'm really surprised because Hocus Pocus 2 looked really bad, and I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
Okay, Hocus Pocus 2 is
Hocus Pocus isn't that good.
It's not even Hocus Pocus 2 isn't even that
pretty
good.
bad.
It's not even that good. It's a fine movie.
Hocus Pocus is pretty bad.
Hocus Pocus. See, that's the thing. Hocus Pocus 2, not bad. Hocus Pocus, kind of bad.
Sorry, Hocus Pocus fans out there.
I'm sorry.
Hocus
I'm
Pocus
so sorry.
Really kind of sucks.
I'm so sorry to anyone who loves Hocus Pocus. It is not my thing. It is kind of just the worst.
It's really painful to watch.
It's a fine movie. It's just like everything about it. Like it's crafted just fine, but like everything about it, I don't like it, except for the kind of fun, cheesy aesthetics of it. But yeah, I gave Hocus Pocus 2 a 3 out of 5.
Amazing.
And quick shout out to the Mad God Gulag, because it was cool.
The Gulag. We still need to watch that, the Adult Swim.
Adult Swim Yule Log. A little different, Micah.
An actual movie.
Actual movie.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Then up next on release order, we have Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
I watched through every single Scooby-Doo movie last year, and this was one that I was kind of nervous about because it was the newest one. And I was actually really pleasantly surprised with what they did with it. I think it's got really creative animation, fun story. It like really feels like it kind of like a breath of fresh air for the Scooby-Doo series up to this point, because like the last 2 or 3 years of Scooby-Doo movies have been brutal.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is infinitely better than Scoob, like so much better.
Like not even just Scoob though. Even the other ones are just like they've gotten so bland and samey and also just not funny.
Yeah.
And this one is doing something unique. It's got a cool new character. It's funny and its animation looks good. So
I wish they had a bigger budget for the animation because like, it could have looked gorgeous, and it just looks cheap. Pretty great.
It looks cheap. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I like the art direction a lot. It was fun. I like the characters. I like the story. It was a good time. It's fun.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
I also gave it a 4 out of 5.
That's so crazy.
Then I watched Aqua Teen Forever Plantasm, which is the new Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. No one cares what I have to say about Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
It's the finally new misogynist movie.
Finally, new misogynist movie dropped. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Certified misogynist core.
Right? I feel like if you're super misogynistic, I don't know, would you like Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I think you would.
You think so?
Because I think you would take the jokes like straight up.
You think you would just like not see that like
that it's making fun
Master
of them
Shake is the worst person alive? Like
yeah, you think it would be like that they're just
you're
making
like finally
jokes.
a real man.
That's so hilarious that he would do that.
Like a real man, Master Shake. He's finally a strong man that we need in our media is Master Shake.
Robbie, you're gonna get taken out of context. There's gonna be clips everywhere. Finally, the real man we need.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Plantasm. It was fine. It's pretty much actually it's a bit better than what I expected. Because I kind of thought it would be bad. I bought the Blu-ray for it. It's an Amazon satire movie. Via Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Even
so,
Aqua,
it's fun.
To that, Haley, even Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a little bit more base misogynistic than Fight
Right,
Club.
yeah, the status quo of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, like, there's, like, no women in that entire show except for, like, prostitutes and, like, not... They're not characters.
Yeah.
They're always dressing or jokes.
Fight Club is specifically about, like, toxic masculinity. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is like, haha, look at these idiots.
It's a comedy. Yeah, I was about to say you're supposed to be laughing at these three dumb roommates who happen to be mystery solving food. But anyway, enough about Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
In the comparison to Fight Club.
In the many parallels to Fight Club, such as misogyny. But yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was pretty good. I liked it.
I was about to say, we're on the home stretch here.
We are. We're on the last few. Here we go.
2 hours and 30 minutes in, and we're almost done. Up next, we have My Father's Dragon, the latest Netflix original movie. Not actually. The latest Cartoon Saloon movie is what I was going to say.
Saloon.
It's a Netflix original.
We love some Cartoon Saloon here on Recently Logged.
It does not touch the Irish trilogy, but literally what touches the Irish folklore trilogy.
Right. The folklore trilogy is so good.
But it's still really cute, and I just love their animation style.
Great vocal cast on this one.
Yeah, you got Jacob Tremblay, the kid who voices Luca in Luca, Disney Pixar's Luca. Luca.
It's Luca.
And you also have Gatton Martizaro?
Yeah, I believe so.
Something like that. Anyway, Dustin from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Which I was kind of nervous about, but he gives a pretty fun performance here as the titular dragon.
Actually, there's the entire side cast of this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, you got
love to see it.
You got what's her face from Patterson.
Patterson,
too.
Yes.
And I really love her.
She's really great.
And yeah, like it's not the best thing in the world.
It's not
but
the
it's
best.
Cute. It's
but
fun.
It's very cute and it's very fun.
And the animation is pretty.
I love the animation. It's
still
Cartoon
not,
Saloon.
It's
man.
still not as expressive again as the Irish trilogy, but it's not going for that. This is a
storybook.
It's a storybook movie.
It's a storybook adaptation.
So,
it's a different art direction entirely.
Yeah. Very cool. Go watch it. Support this studio.
Go watch the Cartoon Saloon movies because they need money, please. I will cry if Cartoon Saloon shuts down and doesn't put out any more movies after this.
I don't think they'll shut down. I just want them to put out. I want them to have the budget to put out more movies.
I need them more money, Micah.
Up next, though, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Up next, we have Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
We did an episode.
We did a whole episode on. That was our last episode
on it.
That's crazy.
Until we accidentally took most of December off.
Whoopsie. Sickness and family.
Whoopsie. We did
but
it.
Yeah, Del Toro's Pinocchio is pretty darn great.
It's
and
fantastic.
Pretty fun, actually. And you should watch it. And if you've seen it before and weren't a fan, you should watch it again and give it a second chance. Go listen.
It has its problems, but
it definitely has its problems.
I think it's phenomenal. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Crazy.
Next, I watched. Yes, here it is. Falling
yes,
for
here
Christmas. It is. The return. It's a Netflix original. Lindsay Lohan returns to cinema. And again,
yes.
All I ever have to say, the thing I have to say about this is, I hope Lindsay Lohan is doing okay.
Hope she's doing good.
Hope she
having a good life.
Yeah, because not a whole lot of her life has been that good. So
right.
Her return to acting, not that good of a role. Not that good of a movie.
It was all right from what I watched of it, but I only saw like 2 scenes.
It's not that bad. It's not bad. It's just, it's a Netflix original Christmas movie. It's like the quality of a Hallmark movie.
Dang. But you got Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, it's really, I don't like her in that role.
Is it like a bad role for her?
She's playing like a rich, like pampered person who loses her memory. And it's just weird. She doesn't. Her performance is weird. I don't know.
Okay.
I give it a 2 out of 5.
Ooh.
Next, I have Christmas with You. Which again,
I missed the first 5 minutes of it, but I watched the rest.
Weird coincidence. Also a Netflix original. It had been 10 years since Lindsay Lohan was in a movie, and in this movie we have Freddie Prinze Jr. And it was 10 years since he had been in a movie, and they both returned in rom-com Netflix original Christmas movies.
Christmas with You is a Netflix thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
But Christmas with You is a lot sweeter.
It's sweet.
It's probably it's a little better.
It's a little warms my heart.
It really is a sweet movie for a return to acting for Freddie Prinze Jr. It's cool that he returned for his kids.
Yes,
that's pretty sick because he literally stopped acting because of his kids. Like he wanted to raise his kids.
Good call, probably. Just watch The Fabelmans. It's a good call.
And I don't know. I've always been a really big Freddie Prinze Jr. fan. It's laughably bad about the music industry. Like it's just the music industry is laughably incorrect here.
Oh, you're just saying like poorly represented.
Yeah. Like it just is ridiculous to me because we could not stop making fun of the fact that she's like a 5-time platinum album.
That was really funny.
Artist. And they're like, I don't know, this new up and coming artist. If you don't give me a new album,
you don't give him a new album,
you're really not bringing much to the studio. I'm like, what are you?
They're gonna drop you, man.
What are you talking about? This label, she got you 5 platinum albums.
That's insane.
What are you talking about? She is the in-universe Beyonce.
Well, Micah, actually, Beyonce exists in the movie.
I know Beyonce exists in the movie. But again, they literally talk about how, like, this doesn't happen to Beyonce, so I don't understand why it's happening to her.
Right.
Because they're like, we need a Christmas song or you're off the label.
It's kind of funny. I don't know. I love Freddie Prinze Jr. He's fun.
But I give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, and then we watched another film after that, if you can even believe it.
Whoa!
How did we fit so many films into one year, Micah?
We were watching movies.
We were watching so many movies.
This wasn't even how many movies we watched. This is just how many movies we watched from this year specifically.
Wow, we explained it all again. But it's an Apple TV Plus musical called Spirited. And it has
Will Ferrell, and Ryan Reynolds, and Octavia Spencer, and Patrick Page, and many others. Who directed it?
It is directed by none other than the Sean Anders of Instant Family and Daddy's Home. Haley has put in the chat. This just in. Micah finds out Beyonce exists.
Beyonce exists in the movie because they reference.
Yeah,
Beyonce.
inside the movie Christmas with You, they reference Beyonce.
Because I was saying she's like the in movie Beyonce in terms of her apparent success in the movie industry. I mean, not the movie, the music industry, and yet Beyonce in universe is not having any issues, and yet they're like, we need a song or you're off the label.
But yeah, Spirited. It's a musical. It's pretty good, but not great by any stretch. It's very shaky, and it would have worked a lot better in just about every way if you put it on the stage instead of on the screen.
And casted singers instead of.
Luke made a good point when he was watching Spirited. He messaged me. He was like, Neil Patrick Harris would have been a much better fit for Ryan Reynolds' role in this.
Okay, but he DM'd me and said, if Neil Patrick Harris was in this, it would be a 5.
Ooh, no. And No, the screenplay is not there, dude.
The screenplay is not that good.
It's fun.
The music's not that good.
The music's not that great. But I actually really like how they shoot the musical sequences.
It's pretty okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad by any means.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I know some people who hated it, man. I don't know. I don't get hating it, but like, it's not good. Not really all that good. So
yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
All right. A couple more things to round us out.
I watched A Christmas Mystery. It's a HBO. No, I don't think it's an original. It's just a movie. That's
just
crazy.
A movie.
What are we doing in this day and age? Not having an original streaming service movie? That doesn't happen. Christmas Mystery.
Christmas Mystery.
There's a mystery for Christmas, and these kids have to solve it.
That's my Christmas present, a mystery?
There's like these magic bells. There's like these canonical magic Santa wishing bells.
I caught the last like 20 minutes of this or something.
Outside of them being these canonical magic wishing bells,
they're actual magic,
which does not make outside of that making it a quote unquote Christmas movie. Not a single element of this has Christmas because anything could have been stolen, and it would be exactly.
It's just
the
a
same.
MacGuffin, Micah.
It's just a MacGuffin.
No,
it's not magical.
No,
it literally is so weird. I gave it 2.5. It's not bad. It's a random Christmas movie, but yeah, 2.5 out of 5.
All right, fair enough. And then after that, we turned on the. Ooh, sorry, I ran out of breath there for a second.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Holiday special.
Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special with Mantis and Drax and the whole gang.
The whole gang.
It's pretty fun. It's fun.
It's shot kind of bad. For some reason,
the cinematography is just so bland and blah,
and like the lighting and production quality is kind of bad. I don't know why.
But the script is fun.
It's cute. The
performances are fun.
I like some of the depth it brings to the characters. I think it's pretty fun.
I like Mantis centric stuff.
Mantis is.
I'm a sucker for the Mantis. What can I say?
I'm a sucker for the Mantis.
She's a fun character.
She is. She is.
I was trying to imagine a worse way to phrase that. Right. I don't think there's a worse way.
I give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I also gave it a 3 out of 5. I love you, James Gunn. Keep making stuff.
Next up, I watched Darby and the Dead.
Darby and the Dead. I think I saw part of that too.
It's a Hulu original movie.
Hulu.
See, Robbie, if I watched something without you, I just assumed that it's some original movie.
That's funny.
And it was fine. It's kind of weird.
It was quote fine.
It's a Disney Channel-esque movie, and like it just kind of hits that bar of quality. But like it's pretty okay. You got the girl who voices Moana in it, and I like.
Ayo, she's cool. I think. I think she's cool.
And you got the sneaker guy from Sneakerella. He's back but not making sneakers this time.
What's he making?
He's seeing dead people.
Whoa, what? Making lifelong memories is what he's making.
So yeah, it's pretty fine. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Interesting.
And then what did we watch?
The newest 2022
newest thing
film that we watched was Avatar: The Way of Water.
The Way of Water.
Yes.
Which I want to do an episode on, so let's not. We can't be too crazy.
Okay.
About it.
Grab your snorkel, grab your 3D glasses, and go watch The Way of Water.
I love
because
The
it's
Way
one of the
of
best of
Water.
the year.
We watched it IMAX 3D opening night.
Yeah,
and
baby.
That was such a great experience.
So good.
I honestly think it's kind of better than the first Avatar, even though there are
maybe.
I've never.
I want to see it again.
I've never been the biggest fan of a lot of different elements of Avatar. I think I like the setting of the first Avatar.
We did a whole
more,
episode on Avatar. Go watch it.
And like the plot of the second Avatar more. But I really like the characters. I like it's absolutely gorgeous. Like,
yeah,
it's beautiful.
Best VFX on lock.
I love the
real.
time that they give to everything. I love the time that they like they let it just be beautiful and brilliant and really get you into the kind of vibe that they're going for,
so
which
cool.
I know was some people's complaints with the movie because like there's not much of a plot and it's 3 hours long.
Right. It's all just like small little arcs for it's kind of big cast, honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say the first hour is really kind of catching you up to where they want the actual story to start.
Although I think if I'm remembering correctly, he shot this and 3 at the same time and then like half of 4.
Something like
that. Something
3's
like
already
that.
shot
because the child actors were growing up too quickly.
Yeah, you gotta.
But that's just crazy to me. Which it makes a lot of the like plot structure of this make a little more sense. But I'm looking forward to the next one, and I loved this one.
This gets me super excited for the next Avatar movie. It was genuinely really beautiful, really emotional, really fun, really exciting, really well shot, well directed, well acted. Sigourney Weaver, like 70-year-old Sigourney
really
Weaver,
well
plays
shot.
a teenager.
It's really well edited too. My goodness, it's a technical masterpiece. But I don't know if I totally loved like what it was doing on a screenplay level all the time. That's really the only thing I would complain about.
But no, dude, watching it IMAX 3D is truly like a great experience.
It's fantastic,
and I'm very interested to see how it will be watching it like on a normal screen in a normal setting.
I'm really looking forward to revisiting it. I really loved it.
I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5. Honestly, I gave it a 4 initially, and then I don't know. I thought about it a little more. I'm like, okay, what's actually wrong with it? And then I bumped it up. But that was our year.
What's wrong with the Northman? Right?
Okay, I don't connect to the. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do an episode on the Northman probably.
Anyway,
we're doing that was our 2022.
Yeah, that was our 2022. Just before we end, I also wanted to quickly just say what our top 5 for the year was, just in order. I know we kind of alluded to. We could even do 10 if we wanted to. Just
sure,
quickly,
if you want to.
saying the list since we just talked about all of them.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Going from, do we want to do 10?
Yeah, we can do 10.
All right. So at number 10 we have The Batman.
The Batman.
Number 9 we have The Way of Water. At number 8, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Very nice.
At number 7, we have Glass Onion.
Nice.
At number 6, we have RRR.
Ooh.
At number 5, we have The Banshees of Inisherin.
Very good.
At number 4, we have The Fabelmans.
I like it a lot.
Number 3, The Northman.
Nice.
Number 2, Nope. And number 1, Decision to Leave.
Decision to Leave, baby.
That is my
got the urge to applaud at Decision to Leave. Yeah. Dude, if it pulls some Oscars, I'm gonna be so happy.
It needs Oscars. Give it Oscars.
Give it best cinematography right now. This is a threat. No, it's not. I'm sorry.
What about you, Robbie? Top 10.
Top 10. The list I have on here doesn't include The Fabelmans, so I'm gonna slot it in one of these spots. Number 10 we have Elvis. Number 9 we have The Batman.
Elvis was number 11 for me, by the way.
Glass Onion is 8. At 7 we have Top Gun Maverick. We have Kimmy at 6.
Boo.
We have The Banshees of Inisherin at 5. And this is where it gets tricky. I'll say RR at 4, and then Nope at 3, Fabelmans at 2, and Decision to Leave at 1. That's it.
And where's the Northman, Robbie?
The Northman.
Tell the audience.
Northman is
tell the listeners at home.
It is number 17 in reference to that list. So, but it's phenomenal. It's a great movie. Don't give Robert Eggers more money. Let him make movies.
This was it. This was it, Robbie. This was it. He made 2 movies, and they ended up being kind of successful. So the studios were like, okay, we'll give you lots and lots of money. Go make a studio movie for us. So he was given a studio budget, and then...
the Banshees of Ed Sheeran, Haley says in the chat.
And then
that's funny.
And then they were like, oh, we don't really want all that. So make it more acceptable. He puts out The Northman, and it flops.
It flops so hard.
It loses money. And Robert Eggers is like, I am depressed.
He's going to be in director jail for a little while.
Yeah, he lost the budget to be able to make Nosferatu. I think that project got officially canceled.
I wanted to see his note. I was so much more pumped for his Nosferatu movie.
Because you didn't go see The Northman.
Why is he pointing at the viewers?
Because you
you didn't go see it either.
No, yeah, but because you didn't put it in your top 10.
Oh my goodness. The studio heads are like scrolling through. They're like, what did Robbie give? We should give money to more people. What should we do?
This is why Robert Eggers' Nosferatu isn't happening.
It would have been great. It would have been
great. Wasn't Robert Pattinson going to be in it?
Nicolas Cage was going to be in it.
Nicolas Cage was going to be in it. Well, no, he's doing a different vampire movie.
Oh, right, he's doing Reinfeld. I don't remember.
I thought they had talked about maybe having Robert Pattinson be in it.
Maybe so.
Because they had worked before on The Lighthouse.
That's true. But yeah, those were the movies. Those were the top movies. Go watch Decision to Leave.
Watch Decision to Leave.
Go watch all of the movies in our top 20s.
Check out the content.
Go on to our
check out any of these movies.
Yes.
Make your own decisions. A lot of these decisions to leave. Most of these movies are like at our top are rated R.
They're rated R for good reason.
For good reason. Check out the reasons.
Yes.
Evaluate your life choices.
This is like the first year where we've like seen a bunch of R-rated films. It's very strange.
Yeah, but some very good movies.
Very good movies.
Very excited.
Yes. There's some great stuff this year.
Next week, I think we're doing our most anticipated for this
year
episode.
We're going to be going over the 2023 releases that we're most excited for. Yeah. So tune in for that.
Thanks for tuning in to our live stream.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who popped into the live stream. Chatted along.
Have yourself a Micah.
The official brand tie-in. I got Tic Tacs over here. They're not nearly as good as Mike and Ike's, but
nope.
They're the lump of coal ones. So I don't know. They're weird. They're cherry flavored. So.
Cherry flavored.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks
or watching.
Or
however you're consuming this.
Yes.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in live too.
Oh, and thank you for a prior best season so far, season 4 of Recently Logged. It was great.
Yeah, our channel has performed a lot better.
Season 5 starts next week.
Season 5.
Look forward to it.
We've been doing this for a little bit.
For 5 years, roughly. Not quite, but close. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.